Okay, what's up, guys? I think we're live. How you doing? I'm International Master John Bartholomew, and it is Sunday, December 20th, and you are watching one of my live streams. I'm here on chess.com. It's the afternoon, and I'm going to play some bullet today. We're going to play some 1 minute, possibly some other bullet time controls, but most likely just 1 minute, no increment. I'm going to try to crack 2,800. I've set a little goal for myself to try to get over 2,800. Currently, my bullet rating is in the low 2,600s, so that's going to be quite a challenge. And this might be an ongoing thing because I don't expect to crack 2,800 today. We'll see. But mainly, I just want to hang out with you guys and, just talk shop, talk about chess, talk about life. You know how we do on my streams. And we are watching right now the game Hikaru Nakamura versus Yakov Norwitz, who's a strong international master, very skilled in fast time controls especially. So what a way to start this out by taking a look at the best bullet player in the world in Hikaru playing on chess.com. So he's 29-41 and looks like they've already played 5 games. Hikaru ahead by a score of 4-1. How are we doing in the chat? How are you guys today? See some familiar faces? Yeah, people in the chat were speculating about what color shirt I was going to wear. So if I was a betting man, I would have won a lot of money because most people were saying blue. Blue is one of my wardrobe, what would you call it? I guess one of my wardrobe favorites, let's say. It's a mainstay of my clothing repertoire, the color blue. But you see I'm wearing red today, so you guys lose. How's it going, Nick? Anton? What's up, Emil? Squash Addict's ready to go. He sent me a challenge. Yeah, I don't have any particular format as far as who I'm going to play today. I'm just going to take on all comers. Probably get a good mix of playing you guys and also some pretty tough opponents so I can try to gain some rating points. That would be nice, as opposed to just putting my rating up for grabs. If I play someone lower rated and lose like 30 points in a game, that doesn't help on the road to 2,800. So we'll see how it goes. All right. What's up, Lily? What's up, Luxic? Jackson, Tibor? How you guys doing? Enjoying your Sunday? I saw Star Wars last night. I told you guys in one of my recent videos I was going to go see Star Wars, and I saw it in IMAX 3D at the Minnesota Zoo, which is about 10 minutes away from where I live. Gigantic screen, probably seats like 300 people in there. It was a packed house. It was worth it, though. Saw the 10 o'clock p.m. showing. I highly recommend it. Just the IMAX experience was worth a little bit extra that you pay to go to that. Yes, Roland, I know that some of you may be Grandmasters. We've had Grandmasters in the chat before, but the vast majority of us are not Grandmasters, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get a Sam Shankland or an Alejandro Ramirez to show up and grace us with their Grandmasterly presence. But chess is a game for the people, right? So just because we don't have G and M in front of our name doesn't mean we're not able to enjoy it. Okay, this looks good as far as the chat goes. Just seeing how many people we have. We've got 150 people watching at the moment. Excellent. I'm going to play some games pretty soon, but for the moment, I thought we'd just check out this Hikaru versus Yakov match before we get started. I was trying to... I'm following Hikaru, but maybe he's not playing. Maybe he just quit. Sometimes he plays super long matches with people. Like, you guys have probably seen some of his matches with Eric Hansen, where they play like 50-plus games. So we can always hope for that. Maybe I'll even get a game with Hikaru. Why don't I challenge him right now? Why not? I can't remember the last time I've actually played Hikaru, so let's give him a challenge. Is he still online? Hikaru, if you're watching, challenge me. I know you're hanging out in my stream right now. Let's see. Oh, I think he's either offline or he closed himself to challenges. I bet Hikaru gets like 1 billion challenges as soon as he logs into chess.com live chess. So He may have it set up so only he can challenge certain people. Yes, you're right, Momin. Hikaru is a 1-minute monster. He's just a monster at any fast time control. I think he is scared, guys. I think he's absolutely petrified of potentially losing to me, a lowly international master, on stream. So he's ducking my challenges. Have you ever not lost against Hikaru? That's a weird way of asking if I've beaten Hikaru. And I've played Hikaru online before, but honestly, it's been probably at least 3 years since we played. I don't remember the results of particular games necessarily. I have beaten him before online. I get the odd bullet victory or something. We played in a serious game. We played in the US Chess League back in, I think, 2009, and I lost. I was white. It was not a bad game, but he eventually got the better of me. And that's the only time we played in something resembling a classical time control. It wasn't an over-the-board game because it was a US Chess League game online, but it was still a long time control. Nope, I don't use Twitch, Russ Cheese. I have a Twitch account, but it's inactive, so I wouldn't even suggest following me on there. It's possible I'll fire up Twitch at some point, but I like YouTube streaming. It works out well. It archives the broadcast right away, so it has everything I need. All right, let's take a look at a game. And in fact, I'm going to play a game. So if you guys want to challenge me to 1-0. This is a 1-minute day, so I've been challenged by I am Jopi2 right off the bat. And he's rated 2597. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see if he's still willing to play. All right, Jopi2. I'm starting with knight f3 against him. And we're off to the races, guys. If he's there. Been a little while since I played 1 minute on chess.com. Most of my 1-minute practice has been against Danny Wrench and the Chess Rivals. So I got to get my form back, you know? Okay, let's go bishop a3 and defend. Try to get in an eventual c5. I want to protect that pawn. Bring the knight back. I'm playing with like a slightly larger board than usual, just for the purposes of streaming. So we'll see how this goes. Trade with me. Let's trade. Maybe he can push d5. Could be reasonable. Okay, let's go here. He's probably going to put that knight in on c5. Let's take that. I think we kind of had to anyways. Now I have pressure against this d5 square. Maybe I can put something in on d5 like this. And then maybe follow with knight c4. Not a bad plan. Okay, let's take that. And then I'm going to take again. And I'm probably going to bring this over. Ooh, is that a trap queen? That looks like a trap queen to me. I do not see any flight squares for that piece. Let's just take it. Let's take here. We've got 2 connected passers just right away. Let's get rid of any back rank threats. Yeah, I mean, he can't defend e5. Other stuff is falling. The rook is falling. All right. Good one to get the match started, to get our day started. And we get a Scandi chance. He played knight f3. That was probably a pre-move. A lot of people do that pre-move. Okay, let's go here. So if he takes the pawn on e4, he has to reckon with knight d4. This is slightly awkward for white. I would not recommend doing this if I was playing white. Let's just go queen d7 and castle queenside. Should be okay. And then let's offer a trade. Trade of the bishops. Okay, let's take that. And maybe I can go here, because if he takes, I take. He has to move his queen, and then I get at e4. So that looks excellent for us. Meanwhile, I am threatening nasty stuff like this. Let's see if he takes my queen. I have a feeling he might. Although then I get f5 in at the end. So now it's pick your poison for Jopi2. This is not looking great for him. What's he going to do about this? I can take here. Because then we get his bishop at the end. Go take this guy. We're up a rook. Everything should just be peachy. Let's just develop. He can have g7 if he wants, I suppose. We'll hide our king. Let's just go here, attack his queen. I'm going to try to get my rook over to e8 as soon as possible, attack that e5 pawn, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, e5 under attack. Let's just bring this up. Bring the bishop up. Give a check. I'm a little slow, but I hope that's okay. Let's push this pawn. I'm going to do this, even though that was probably a foolish decision. Oh boy. I'm really blowing this from a skill perspective. He's fairly fast. But I think I'm going to get the better of him on the clock. All right. Well, that was convincing, right? Up a rook and managed to win. Extremely convincing. You guys doing all right in the chat? Everything good? How's it going, Brian S., Sean? Frequent viewers right there. All right, Joe B, let's do this. I'm playing knight f3 followed by g3 on move 2. This is like a typical bullet opening I like to go for. Or at least lately I've been going for. A double fianchetto. You bring the dark square bishop out. Let's play a3 just so we can maybe play b4 should he want to advance like this. And then we'll try to play for c4. I think this is a smart plan. Okay, we'll put the rook here. Maybe knight e5? I'll drop this back first. a4 could be potentially hard to defend for him. Maybe h3 after this. Let's just restrict him a little bit. Make sure he can't wiggle free. Knight e5. Okay, let's play here. Oh, Hikaru's playing again. I gotta close that because it's in the background right now. Okay, let's maneuver. He might try to go knight b6 and then to c4. I have a feeling that could be his plan. Okay, now I'll be okay with a queen trade. Provided I can go b5 and maybe break up his pawns a little bit. Let's go here. Okay, I'm going to bring my king a bit closer. Maybe even up to e3. Although I like the look of this move too. Because we're pinning that knight pretty nicely. How about this? What are you going to do? You've got a lot of stuff hanging. He can play... Okay, yeah, they found a good way out. Okay, let's go here. Maybe e5. All right, we're going to try to come back. I'm down a pawn, but for the moment, I'm going to win it back. Let's go here. f4, perhaps. Look to trade. Okay, let's bring this up. Oh, I just let him trade into an opposite color bishop position. That was probably not so good. This is a draw. It's a pretty clear draw, too. I'm going to offer him one. Yeah, there's not much that can be done here. At some point, he might play bishop takes f6. I don't know. All right, we drew. All right, let's get a rematch with him, if possible. Just close that game. Is that Joe P2? I think it is. I just closed that game, so now I can't easily get at him again. Except... Well, that's annoying. These red dots are all the ones that are challenging me right now. Where are you, Jopi? Hold up. I think we can find him on the players. There we go. See if he's still willing to play. And we might get a game with Hikaru. If he ever gets done with this match against Yakovin, maybe we'll try to swoop in and challenge him. Because actually I'm higher than Yakov at the moment. He's 2604, and based on those couple of wins we just got, I'm higher than him now. Try to keep an eye on the chat as best I can. Did you guys see that Nakamura drew today at the Qatar Open, Qatar? I had to say that the name of that country in one of my videos one time, and I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. Some people say cutter, but from what I've read, that's not correct. So I'll just say Qatar. Okay, while we're waiting, let's play a little 1 minute against other challengers. Message me hi. You are my first opponent that's not a title player today. So I hope you're there. 872. He's a diamond member, he or she. Are you there, Mr. Message or Mrs. Message? John, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? That's the classic question, isn't it? I'm going to say horse-sized duck. I would rather fight that. Okay, who's next? Message Mihai was not there, so we're going up the ladder to Desanetso from Brazil. Okay, let's play b3. I'm playing like Hikaru does, b3 on move 1. Are you going to be there, Desanetso? You guys walk away from your computer. You challenge and then you walk away. It's lame. Oh, he's there. Okay. All right, we got ourselves a game. I won a pawn on move number 3. Bishop takes e5. Let's play knight f3. I hope I don't get mated on f2. If he does something like knight g4, I'll have to watch that. We'll go d4. Let's fianchetto the other bishop too, just for consistency's sake. Castle. Play c4. Build up a nice big pawn center. Bring the knight out behind the pawn. Okay, we'll go rook e1 and then play for e4. We'll go knight d5 and see if we can get a trade. I want to play d5 after he takes the queen, but my bishop would be hanging, so I'm going to try to prepare d5. Now I have an idea to push and try to attack the queen and also the knight on c6. Now he has to play knight e5 if he doesn't want to lose material. Otherwise, ooh, yeah, that's going to lose the queen. Discovered attack. Yeah, and he resigns. All right. Who do we got next? I'm actually gonna unfollow Hikaru for now, as much as I want to watch these games, because it's hard with all the sounds. Let's unfollow him. All of the conflicting sounds. Whoa, we got a lot of challenges. All right, this is gonna be kind of tough. Okay, Squash Addict. I saw you challenge me right away, so you're up next, buddy. From down under, Squash Addict from Straya. I hope you haven't walked away from your computer, too. All right, let's play a modern. G6, bishop G7. Sometimes you can catch people pre-moving on the black side of this opening by playing bishop H6 and then attacking their bishop on G7 when they fianchetto it. It's kind of a dirty bullet trick, but it works sometimes. Okay, let's do this. We'll double up his pawns. I'm showing some extreme disregard for the dark squares here, but that's all right. I'm just taking all of Squash Addict's pawns. I just want every single one of those little guys. Let's go queen a6. I hope my structure is solid enough that I can fade any attacks that he mounts on the dark squares. Okay, let's go d5. e2 is hanging, but I think that would have been extremely greedy had I taken that. So we're going to have to settle for just being up 2 pawns instead. Let's play rook b8, get on that file. Ooh, is he going to go after c6? He might go after c6, but that's okay, I think. All right, we're just taking another one. Get another pawn here. I guess we'll go after e2. Maybe I can get my rook down to b2 soon. Looks good. His queen is pretty close to my king, but barring that, he's got massive problems with his bishop. Actually looks like it's checkmate unless he sacrifices his queen on b2. I don't see how he's going to avoid this mate, this impending mate. Now let's just advance the d-pawn. This pawn is a force of nature. Okay, let's take that. Take that. Take the bishop. No stalemate for you, Squash Addict. And he resigned. All right. Good game, sir. Faithful viewer of the channel and the stream. What is potato quality, Cam? Hopefully not this stream. Connor says, any good suggestions for endgame books, John? I like several. I like 100 Endgames You Must Know by Jesus de la Villa. Excellent book. I also like Amateur to IM by Jonathan Hawkins, who's now a Grandmaster. He's not even an IM anymore. Those two books are pretty accessible. If you're looking for something more advanced, there's always Duretsky's Endgame Manual, but I wouldn't dive into that book until you're pretty proficient, like maybe 1800 plus. It's a very challenging book. It's comprehensive, but start with something like Amateur to IM or 100 Endgames You Must Know. Studying those two books would take you very far in the endgame. John, how do I challenge you? Chess.com is confusing. Well, you have to find me. If you click on the Players tab, you can find me because I'm one of the title players, so I should be up towards the top. And you can right-click on my name and send me a challenge. Also, if we're friends on chess.com, you can right-click on my name and send me a challenge that way. Thanks, Raphael. Nice to see you too. All right, let's play a couple more games. Yeah, you guys can't really see the graph. You can only see part of it. But there's like a line of red dots going down. There's like probably 20 people that are challenging me right now. All right, E.T. Lextra, you're in. E.T. Lextra from France? Yep. All right. Same opening. A little bit different. He played E3 instead of knight C3 that Squash Addict did. Well, let's take that pawn. And then we'll just develop knight F6 and castle. As I've said, I really hope I don't drop one of these games because that would just crush my rating. The road to 2800 might be going down the tubes pretty soon if I lose one of these games. We have a comfortable position here, I think. Let's harass that light square bishop. Go knight into b4. Maybe queen here to attack e3. Our bishop's defended, so I'm not worried about that. Let's take this. And then we'll go bishop e6 and attack b3. My queen's in white's half of the board for sure, but now I get this skewer. Ooh, and he dropped his queen. Drop the old queen. And I'm hitting f1 as well. Yeah, he resigned. All right, E.T. Lextra. Yeah, you were doing okay until you just dropped the e3 pawn with check. So probably a better move right here would have been something like maybe knight d4, although then I can play e5. Maybe queen d4, although there's probably problems with that too. This position's already a little bit uncomfortable. Possibly f3 is not wise. Where did you play that? That was pretty early that you played that. In response to bishop g4. Maybe move your queen away instead, something like queen b3, and just ignore my bishop, because sometimes when you move a bishop into your opponent's half of the board, unless it's a pin, the bishop is kind of just floating there. So I think you would have been better not to react too harshly to that bishop coming to g4. Instead, just move your queen away. So, all right, I'm going to challenge Hikaru again, just because you never know. He might take it. He might see that I'm challenging him after the game with Yakov N. Nope. Hikaru is currently not accepting challenges. Okay, well, let's keep going. How about Kansas Mitch? 1289. All right, let's go knight f3. Pre-move g3. Double fianchetto once again. Usually with an eye towards playing c4. Let's see if he wants to take that pawn. He does. Ooh, and he gave me a knight. I think he was assuming I was going to take with the pawn there. And hence, he thought knight a5 would pressure that pawn, but on the other hand, this happens. All right, let's go here. Now our bishop is lurking and possibly attacking this rook on a8 eventually. Let's just go here. I think this is helpful. So that if f6, we can drop our knight back, and that one's still defended. Okay, we'll take this way, offer a trade of queens if he wants. Ooh, drop the queen. So important not to drop pieces. All right. Yeah, Kansas Mitch. You dug your own grave when you played knight a5. That was what did you in. Just gave a piece. You know, predicting what your opponent is going to play is an art that's especially applicable to Bullet. Because if you can accurately predict what your opponent's going to do, you can often save time. But I would say this is pretty early in the game to like make pre-moves. I don't know if he pre-moved knight a5, he might have, but assuming I would take with the pawn is faulty here. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to change my alerts because it's making that like bloop sound every time I get challenged, which is going to get really annoying for you guys. So, enable sounds. I want sounds, but I just don't want challenge sounds. Is there a way to disable that? Oh, challenges, alerts. If you know of a way to disable the actual challenge sound, let me know. And maybe I'll come back to this in a bit, but I don't see an easy way right off the bat. Thanks, Jeff. Glad you're a fan of the channel. Dinan, John, I'm your oldest fan. Please accept me. What do you mean by oldest? Like oldest in age? Or you've just been watching my channel for the longest? Johnny, I don't have a specific time limit for this. It might go, I'd predict an hour and a half to 2 hours. That would be my estimate. Hello, Sumnam. How's it going with you? Let's watch Hikaru again as long as we're taking a little break. So 6.5, 1.5. Not bad for Yakov, and I mean, it's still pretty early, assuming they're going to play a bunch. So not bad at all, getting a 1.5. And also it looks here like Yakov has a good position. He's up pawn. But now Hikaru is attacking g3, and also he's hitting the knight on c8. So I would expect rook takes g3 now. Although after king h2, knight d6 is a pretty big threat. So yeah, he moves the king to sidestep that. He's going to hold off on taking this pawn. He's probably going to bring his king to h6. Because Hikaru is kind of a gambling man. He's not going to agree to like a perpetual by playing king f8 or something. Okay, but now knight e7, so there's knight g8, king h5, rook takes h7 ideas lurking. Oh, they're not even playing bullet. They're playing 3-0. Did they switch time controls? Maybe they were playing 3-0 all along. I wasn't looking at the time control too closely. Knight f6, so he goes backwards. Ooh, g5 check, winning the knight. But that pawn on h4 may be difficult to defend. Knight g8, hitting the rook. Okay. And also, rook takes h7 is now enabled, this idea. This is nice that I can draw arrows, even though there's a game in progress. So yeah, he's hitting this, and he's also attacking here. So king g4, what now? Probably knight h6 check, but that would leave this pawn undefended. Wait, white wins? Why did Hikaru resign? King takes h4, what's the killer move? Just rook e4, or maybe knight check, king over, and then rook e4? I guess I don't quite see it right away, but I'm sure there's something. He wouldn't just resign for no reason. People in the chess.com chat are going crazy. Hi, John. We met after our games in the FIDE Open. Would be nice to have a quick game. I've sent you a friend request, but is it because I don't know any other way to challenge you? How's it going, George? Yeah, so you must mean the tournament in London. I think I remember you. I remember someone named George. So if that was you, hello. If you want to find me, even though we're not friends on chess.com yet, you can go to the, what is it, Games tab in Live Chess, and then click on Players, and you should see me as one of the title players. There's quite a few title players on right now, but you should be able to find me. So yeah, same thing to you, Justin. In Live Chess, go to Games, and then Players, and you can find me. Right-click on that. All right, let's play some more people. Let's go someone a little bit higher rated this time. Control Alt Delicious, 15. You've been waiting patiently. 1870. What flag is that? Portugal. Okay. Let's play knight f6 in this game. Maybe a Benko gambit? Benko it is. b3. b3 is a little suspicious. Let's see if I can somehow punish that. Maybe bishop a6 and attack that pawn on c4. Let's go e6 and undermine the center. Take that. Ooh, he's giving me a pawn, but I can't really take it because my rook in the corner might be in trouble if I do. So I have to exercise some caution here. All right, I like my attack on c4, so let's just gobble this. And go d5 and defend. Also stops queen e4. Looks good. I got to catch up in development, though. There's no doubt about that. Let's see if he wants to take here. I probably should have put the bishop on e7. That would have been a lot safer. So I'm going to admit my error on the previous move and go here so that he can't just take and kill me. Let's bring this back. So I'm having to go through a couple contortions here. But I am up 2 pawns, so if I consolidate, everything should be good. Let's go a5. I'm going to try to stick my knight on b4 eventually. So I want to, yeah, like now this is good timing. Cut the rooks. The rook coordination has been destroyed. I'm liking this. Let's go bishop d7, develop, attack the rook. He takes, but he's losing lots of material now. Okay, let's just take here with the rook. Maybe rook c2 is coming. Could be a threat. Okay, we get the win. Yeah, I don't think b3 is a really good way to meet the Benko control Alt Delicious. Better to take the pawn, or if you don't want to take a pawn, make some sort of constructive move, like knight f3 or e3. b3, defending it is a little artificial. I mean, a lot of times, like, black won't even take on c4 voluntarily, so I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to play b3. And you weaken this diagonal significantly, too. Andrew, I'm not worried about getting to 2,800 as soon as possible, so I want to play people who are faithful to the stream and watch my videos. That's part of the fun. There's no time limit for this challenge, and this is just a self-imposed challenge. John, are you the type to get nervous when playing over the board? When looking at your games in London, I feel you made mistakes you never would have made while playing a game on stream. I disagree with that totally. I mean, I think my move quality is much higher in those games because they're long games, they're serious games. See, the thing is, like, you have to be careful when just looking at one game, or even like a game, like a set of games from a tournament, and trying to extrapolate like very concrete things that you think are wrong with someone's play. Because for one thing, like, you didn't play those games, so you don't know what was going on in the person's head. And also, drawing conclusions just based on a small sample size like that, especially for like a player at my level, I think is premature. I mean, if you were a GM and saying that, maybe I would give it a little more credence, but saying stuff like, I think you made mistakes that you wouldn't normally make in your YouTube videos is pretty short-sighted. Like, you should really refrain from jumping to conclusions like that. I think there's stuff that I could have done better for sure, but I wouldn't say that there were obvious mistakes. I think for the most part, I played pretty well in London. Last couple rounds could have gone better, but for the most part, I was happy. John, will you play until you reach 2,800 rating, no matter how long it takes? That's the goal, Martine. I won't necessarily go 2,800 or bust on this stream, but I hope to make this a series of streams if I don't get there today. Kind of depends who I play. John, when did you start playing chess? I started when I was about 8 years old. So I learned when I was in 2nd grade, and I played my first chess tournament in 4th grade. I played the state elementary tournament. John, is there a chance to watch a match with you and Eric in the near future? Eric and I haven't talked about that, but I certainly believe we could arrange that at some point. Both him and I are kind of busy. I know Nicholas Huschenbet wants a rematch from our match that we played a couple months ago. Also, Chess Explained at some point. I'm sure Greg is going to want a rematch. Otherwise, he may complain for all of eternity. Thanks, Piros. Do you have plans to write any books? Nope, no plans to write a book right now. If I do, I will let you guys know. Writing a book takes a lot of time, and I wouldn't want to do it unless there was something I was truly interested in writing. So, okay, let's keep going here. All right, Nick Mata. You're currently the highest rated person who's challenging me at 2123. Hello to you, Nick. Nick is one of my occasional students. He's from Louisiana. Let's play the exchange variation against him. Oh, he doesn't let me. That's really mean. Does not let me execute the exchange variation. All right, let's play bishop f4 and attack this pawn. Well, now we can play knight d2 and at least defend e4. I want to defend that pawn first before going after anything. This position could be uncomfortable for black because there's certain pressure here. I've already got my bishop developed to a nice square on f4, attacking d6. So I like the look of this a lot. I'm going to try to get in knight c4 at some point, but I might need to maneuver a bit before I do that. So it's possible I'll bring this bishop back, let's say to h2, and then go for f4. I think this would be the best plan. Well, now I'll come in here because I'm attacking d6, and he might have to bring his knight right back to e5 if he wants to deal with that. Now he's just losing material. Yeah, he's going to lose both rooks. We'll take this guy. Maybe we'll play e5 next. Yeah, let's go e5 before we take b5. So we'll take here with tempo. Let's push ahead. e6, why not? E7 should be crushing, but I don't even want to allow stuff like bishop takes h3, so we'll just forge ahead. Okay, so we got into a Benoni formation out of that one, out of a King's Indian. So this started life as a King's Indian, but when black plays c5, it becomes more of a Benoni, especially when I play d5 in reply. I could leave the pawn on d4, but after I play d5, we have a Benoni. And, I mean, I think this position is fine for black, but they should play rook e8. Rook e8 prior to me playing bishop f4 is much nicer, because if black were to play this right now, then they're attacking e4, and it might hamper my development if I am to defend that pawn. So, like if I play knight d2 looking to defend e4, now I've blocked my bishop. So maybe something like queen c2 is better, but they could even persist with queen e7 and attack e4 again. So in other words, I don't know if my move order in the opening was optimal. But as played, I think once I'm able to castle or get the bishop out to f4, then play knight d2, so it's more harmonious bringing the knight here when the bishop is already outside the chain, then castle, I really like white's position. And we're stopping a traditional Benoni pawn break, which is b5. We've got 1, 2, 3 pieces pointed at b5 to try to stop that. So once we've stopped that, yeah, black lacks a plan here. I mean, knight d7 is not good. He's going backwards, but even on something like bishop b7, I think this is nice for white. I'm going to arrange f4 and then hopefully e5 soon. Ross Cheese, nope. Yeah, I don't think Chess Network plays anyone, so I mean, it's not just me that he's reluctant to play. He doesn't really play any other YouTubers or streamers or whatnot. He's got his preference in that regard, so yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to play him, but yeah, it's very likely not going to happen. What do I think of the modern Benoni? It's a... So wait, the modern Benoni being a line for white or black? Because there's kind of two permutations of it. I think the Benoni itself is a fine opening for black. It's considered a bit risky by theory, but if you play it properly and know the move orders inside and out, I mean, it's as playable as anything else. Sean, what's your username? Yeah, Sean and George, I would be happy to play you guys. Let me see if I can find you guys on the challenge list. Ooh, I think I saw... I might have seen someone. Gainsworth? Is that what you said? What's your rating? I don't see you on there. Okay, you challenged me to 1-1, George, but that's okay. We'll play a 1-1 game. All right, so this is George from England. We met each other on the lift at the London Chess Classic, aka the elevator. So you got a 1-second increment. I'll try not to flag you. We're going Scandi. This is our second Scandi of the day, I think, because we played it against Jopi as well. And Jopi also played knight f3 on move 2. Gainsworth, you should know that d5 was coming, so quickly playing knight f3 is kind of a sin. And you're playing it like Jopi was as well. We'll do the same thing. We'll bring the knight into d4. Attacking the queen, hitting c2. So now you kind of have to play queen d3. Because this way, like now your queen's under attack and c2 is going to fall. So this is not looking good. Yikes. Yeah, take the queen. Sacrifices the knight because otherwise he was going to lose it for free after he takes my knight. Whoa, king takes. That should be mate in a few. King f3, queen e4 check, king over, queen g4 checkmate. Or rook g8 mate. Yeah, you just got a little ahead of yourself, Gainsworth. It's okay. Some people get nervous when they're on stream. This is not a new phenomenon. Don't feel bad about this. Some people, when they're playing their first game on the stream, do stuff they normally wouldn't. And he's going to time down. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find... Sean, what's your username? Oh, I found you. Okay. Mr. Sean Wilson, 817. And you get a Scandi as well. Knight f3. Okay, that's a reasonable move. Possibly an underrated move against the Scandinavian. It's castle. Let's put the queen on f5. I think this is a good square for the queen a lot of times in this line. You can still exert some pressure on the knight on f3, but it's not as exposed. Like if he plays knight h4, for instance, I can always take on e2. So, yeah, the queen feels pretty comfortable on that square. Now let's take this pawn. Bishop g4 cannot be played because I would just take it with my queen. My knight's also assisting in protecting that square. So now we're hitting the bishop and also the pawn on c2, and we're going to win the queen. Let's go down and take that next move. Take pawn on f3, attack the knight, attack the rook. I almost have checkmate, but I think I should bring in another piece. Let's bring in the knight. Bring in the knight to assist. Threaten queen takes f2 mate. Oh yeah, sure thing, Padone. Glad you like that. Yeah, I just put out a new video, king and pawn versus king. So I'm going to try to upload, when I can, just endgame tutorials. And this first one I did was opposition and how to assess and play king and pawn versus king. Because that's an endgame that everyone should know, regardless of your level. John, do you plan on having kids? Not anytime soon. Eventually, probably. But yeah, I'm 29 years old. I have friends who have kids, but I don't have any plans to have kids myself. No, not right now. Any thoughts on the best first chess strategy book? I've mentioned one book I already like a lot, which is Amateur to IM. I also like Attack with Mikhail Tal. I think that book is excellent. It's an older book, not that well known, but it's a great introduction to understanding not only attacking chess, but just how to play harmoniously and how to coordinate your pieces, which is important. John, play Magnus age 6. Yeah, I haven't made any play Magnus videos recently, but I would like to do that. Okay, let's play some more people. Okay, let's play Absence, 2017, from Poland. Hopefully he's there, starting with D4. We've got 350 people watching. Hello to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's having a good weekend or into their weekend. Yes, Sultan, I am open to challenges, so feel free to fire away. Absence was there, but he took a hit on the clock, so this is going to be tough for him. I'm going to take on... Yeah, he pre-moved bishop e7. He's trying to catch up on time. It's castle. D5? Looks like it traps this bishop. I guess he can take on e5. That move I forgot about. Well, let's do this. And then we'll give a check. Now I'm attacking the knight, but I think I want to take the bishop next. I think better to take the bishop and let this knight just kind of hang here. Take with check. Now he has to take with the king, because otherwise he loses this knight for free. Let's pin this rook. Now we can take here. He can take h2, but we just sidestep. And we won. All right, so Absence had a hard time because he was down about 20 seconds on the clock to start. Let's go with Luis Romano. Oh, I clicked on the wrong person. I'm playing Diana Mirza, Women's Candidate Master 2250 from Ireland. Okay. Haven't encountered too many title players from Ireland. Jerry, you just go to games and then players, and you should see me up towards the top as a title player, and then right-click on my name and send me a challenge. Ah, Max is from Finland. Hello, Max. Thanks for checking in. John, what do you think about the Lev Albert Sam Palatnik chess strategy / tactics book? Not too familiar with that. In general, I'm not a huge fan of Lev Albert's books. I know a lot of people like them. I can't say I've used them very much. I've flicked through them before, but I'm not especially a fan of them. You've recommended 100 endgames you must know. At what pace do you recommend going through that book? I would say whatever pace you're most comfortable with. I mean, if that means just doing 1 or 2 endgames a week, then do that. It's mostly about understanding those endgames so you can confidently play them. So yeah, just do it at a pace you feel comfortable with. Abstract Mind. Hello to you. Also a frequent viewer. I'm going to play the Gingy Indian again. Might as well. Let's go d6. I think Abstract Mind, who is Nick, by the way, I think he knows what to do against this line. So I'm going to try to confuse him a bit. Ooh, he dropped a bishop. Drop the bishop. And also c3's under attack. Sorry, Nick. You guys got to watch those loose pieces. You're gifting me lots of opportunities. I know it's not easy in 1 minute. All right, James, you're up next. 11:34. James is also from Ireland. Are you actually from Ireland, James, or you just have that? I know I've seen you, of course, on my videos and on Twitter and stuff all the time, but I don't know too much about you. Bishop on b2. This piece could be buried. I think he's got to be careful about that because it doesn't have any scope here. It's blocked by the pawn on c3, so yeah, I'm skeptical of his chances with that piece there. Now I'm attacking c4. Let's just go win that pawn. We're not going to take that bishop right now because my knight is dominant on c4. I don't want to just trade it away. I can take here now, though. Looks safe to do that. And we're pinning the bishop, too. If queen a4 check, I have b5. Defending. Yeah, so now we're up a piece. Let's go here. I guess he can play rook b1, and then after my knight moves, go after the pawn on b7. So maybe that wasn't totally accurate. I probably should castle next. Now let's play b6 just to be safe. Make sure rook takes b7 doesn't come. I'm slowly gaining rating points. I'm 2633 now. When I play like a 2000-ish player and I win, I get like 1 point. So, not bad. All right, and we get the time win. Yeah, in the Xinji Indian, I think it makes sense to keep your bishop on c1 for a while. I would keep this piece back. Actually, here after I play queen a5, I don't know. I mean, you might want to defend against queen takes c3, but there's some cases where black even winning that pawn with check just helps white because it opens lines. Well, let's say hypothetically you play bishop g2 here. I take c3 check, you play bishop d2. Maybe you wouldn't want to allow this, I don't know. But you do get a lot of tempos and you get open lines to attack me, and my development is backward. You've got a massive lead in development. Probably if you are to defend the c3 pawn, it's better to play something like queen c2, I would say. Leave the bishop here so it has a chance to come out this way instead. Do you ever play or played video games? Are chess players only chess, and why? No, I think a lot of chess players have crossover interests to gaming and stuff like poker as well. I don't play video games anymore. I used to play computer games, though. I was into Counter-Strike and Age of Empires when I was in high school. But once I graduated high school, I stopped playing that stuff. I played online poker for a while when that was big. Back from, let's say, like 2004 to 2009 or 2010 or so. I'd kind of play off and on. At what age did you make milestones with your chess? Like 1800, 2000, and I think you said 2200. I became a USCF master, which is 2200 national rating, when I was, I believe, 15, 14 or 15. And I went from about 1,000 to 2,000 really quickly, like within the span of a year or a year and a half, maybe. Maybe a little longer than that. No more than like 2 years or so, though. So I was able to jump up the rating level from basically a beginning player to an expert pretty quickly. Although I must say that before I got my first chess rating, I was already pretty proficient. I had practiced a lot of chess before I entered my first USCF rated tournament. So hence, I think my first official rating was like over 1,000. And this was back in 1998. So I had a leg up, and I was probably underrated too. So I gained a lot of rating points very quickly. Yeah, Age of Empires is an awesome game. It is an awesome game still. I love Age of Empires even now. I get kind of nostalgic when I see people playing it. I had a friend who was one of the best deathmatch players in the world, Age of Empires. So I would often go over to his place and we would just play Age of Empires all night. All right, let's get some games against high-rated opponents. I'm going to see if there's some guys who want to play. Like maybe Yakov N wants to play. I don't think he's playing Hikaru right now, so let's see if he's up for a little challenge. Well, his bullet rating is very high. Earlier, when I was talking about how I was higher rated than Yakov, that was incorrect. That was actually his blitz rating. His bullet rating is about 200 rating points higher than mine. Let's challenge also a few other people. I'm going to challenge Grandmaster Rikikits. He's not taking challenges. How about Bunny Player? He's playing a game. Penguin GM1 is my student Andrew. He would be fun to play. Ooh, who's this guy? Karanke. Karanke is FM, who looks pretty strong. He's also not taking challenges. Let's challenge Georg Meyer, one of my chess idols as well. I really like Georg Meyer, the way he plays. He's a German grandmaster, and he's been in the 2600s for quite a while. And he has this great, like, fluid style. He doesn't play overly tactically. In fact, like, he prefers to play, like, positionally, strategically. And he just does it at such a high level. I've always been impressed by his play. What beginner/intermediate openings would you suggest? I would say if you're a pure beginner, stick to the main openings. Like for white, I would play e4, get a feel for the open games. I wouldn't mess around with stuff like d4 or c4 or knight f3 on move 1. So play the open games as white, put yourself in tactically sharp positions, try to get your feet under you in that regard. As black, I would recommend e4, e5, and also d4, d5. Just keep it simple, keep it symmetric. Once you get experience, then you can start branching out with your openings. But don't try to play like the trendiest opening just because it's what the top GMs do. Just play stuff that works and that you know is safe, because your goal is not to win games in the opening. Even at a higher level, it's usually not to win games in the opening. Your goal in the opening is just to get to a playable middle game. So I think playing stuff like the Sicilian Najdorf and the King's Indian right off the bat and getting obsessive about studying those openings is a mistake. I would not do that. I wouldn't even worry about that until you're at least like 15, 1600. Penguin GM1 is your student, and he's an IM. Yes, yeah, he's my student. He's from here in Minnesota. Actually, we're not working so much together anymore. He's in high school now, so he has more obligations. He's playing a little less chess, but I taught him for about 3 years. And yeah, he's very strong. He's got great potential, and I hope he continues playing. His name is Andrew Tang. His USCF rating is in the 2400s. His FIDE rating is around 2400. I'm going to try to find someone. I'm having a hard time playing a good player. I'm challenging some top guys in Bullet, but no one's willing to play. Let's challenge Vove. Vove on 1991. We're going to challenge Gunnar Muri, also a Grandmaster. Justice Bot, we're going to challenge. And let's try one more. GM Eman Carter, maybe. Although I can't challenge him for some reason. Frankie J, you want to play? I see you're online. Another guy from my home state, Minnesota. Ooh, okay, he accepted right away, so he must be watching. What's up, Frankie? How's it going? Okay, let's play an Averbach. Or I guess it's not technically an Averbach because I've already played knight f3. We're playing something. We're making this line up. All right, let's go here. Let's take with the c-pawn should he capture. Probably knight back to d2 at some point if he plays rook e8, just to make sure we've got e4 defended. So this is good. Frankie's got a nice rating, 2334. It's someone I could get points if I play them. So that bodes well. Now we're maybe threatening knight c4. I'm actually going to take that because now we get knight c4 in and we're winning the exchange. So this is looking promising. Let's shove the d-pawn up there too and maybe double up our rooks. Yeah, double those up. Let's go queen into d5 and attack this pawn. Also attack b7. I think b7 is probably a bit more valuable to win. So let's do that. Take this. Looks okay. And maybe bishop b5 thereafter. Ooh, because now we can take here, hit the queen, hit the knight. Rematch. Another one, Frankie? John, are you a teacher? Yes. Yeah, I teach chess. Right now, I'm taking a little bit of a break just for the last month or two because I've been playing all these tournaments and traveling. But yes, I teach chess for a living. Hey, John, I've been playing since April. I started watching your vids 2 months ago and gained 300 points at Lee Chess Classic. So I want to thank you for the chess gains. Very nice to hear, Aris. Awesome. Yeah, and I like that you specified you gained 300 points in classical chess. So in the longer games, that's the equivalent of standard here on chess.com. Awesome. Really glad to hear that. Sometimes people will say, like, I went up 500 points in my bullet rating, but going up 300 points in standard, I think that's the best indicator of your progress. If you gain rating points at longer time controls, love to hear that. Hey, John, started playing chess this summer. Found you a couple months later, and I've watched your releases since then. Currently a 1500 ELO player. Cool. Keep it up. John, did you ever try playing Warcraft 3? Nope. I've heard that game's really addictive, so I'm going to stay away from it. All right, let's see who else we got here. Just looking at... Oh, Frankie wants to play again? I thought I sent you a rematch. There we go. Okay, we're playing. Scandy. Power of the Scandy. Queen D8 line. Frankie lives way up in northern Minnesota, right by the Canadian border. And I know he's fiending to play more chess, over the board chess. It's just that there's not a lot up there. So hopefully this is good practice for you, Frankie. We need to see you back at the board soon. Let's go after this pawn on c5, see if we can win that pawn. This is a line that I've talked about recently because I faced it in Dallas a couple times. And I think it's comfortable for black. You get like a Sicilian type pawn structure. Is he sacking a pawn? I'll go take that. I will take the g2 pawn because I'm greedy. Oh, he's going to go after g7. That's his plan. Okay, I didn't see that actually, but let's just do this and maybe I can win f2. Bishop takes e6 would be a good move for him. So I'm gonna try to trade some pieces first. And he has knight d7. This one though I can take here, right? Okay, now maybe castle queenside. I can still castle, so that's nice. Okay, let's just retreat this. I think I was in trouble had he noticed that bishop takes e6 move a move or two prior. That would have been a lot better for him. Let's just go here. I'm going to play f5 and counterattack. And then take here. Let's offer a trade of the rooks. Maybe I can go check and take on g5 if he doesn't want to trade. Let's go like this. Let's go here, stop knight d6, push the pawn, sidestep any problems. Let's do this. Okay, so this is looking good, provided we can survive on the clock. Ooh, tricky. That was dirty, man. Rook e6? Throw in rook e6. I can't blame you. Yeah, I might have done the same thing. Thanks, BisQP1. Thanks for checking in from Poland. Appreciate it. Cool, Fabian. Went in your first tournament and had a performance rating of about 1,600. That's pretty high for your first event. That's really cool. Joshua, I have considered streaming to Twitch, but I just haven't done it. So, yeah, I've thought about it for sure, but I think YouTube is good for streaming, as I've said before. I think I'm plenty happy with YouTube, so yeah, I'm probably going to stick to this medium for the most part. Okay, let's just play bishop b2. And then I'm going to go c4, let him take on e5, and then just play knight c3, queen d2, knight d5, that sort of thing. I think this is a good setup to go for white. Let's see if he wants to trade. Nope, he does not. Maybe take here. And then play h3, just stop knight g4. I want to go for f4. I want to crack open the position this way. He's going to take there. Okay, that's valid. It's definitely valid. Let's drop this back. Hide the king. I might want to keep this pawn on e3 for now. Not sure. I think playing for a queenside pawn storm could be good. Because if this knight moves, I win the b7 pawn, so I'm kind of thinking that this is a decent way of going. Can I win this pawn? I can if he blocks with his queen, but okay, let's rush this pawn up the board and maybe look to take on d6. Let's go here. Okay, we'll take that one. Let's take this way. Go here. And go after this errant knight over here on a4, because we win this pawn. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm up a pawn. It's not like the easiest position in the world to play, but for the most part, I like this. Let's get this over here, just to stop his king from coming any closer. We'll take that. Our bishop controls h1, so he can't check there. Whoa, that was a miscalculation. I was trying to play rook c7. So mouse slip. All right, we're at 26:41. Let's challenge Frankie again. I'm just looking for some other guys, too, to play. All right, we got an English this time around. Let's play for d5. Okay, no, we've transposed into a Slav. Let's take on c4. We'll play a Slav proper. Not sure bishop f5 is the best way to handle this line, but that's okay. Play knight d7, attack this guy. Ooh, free pawn. I like free pawns. Let's go here. Maybe bishop check could be played in the future. I'll hold off on it for now, though. Now we'll do it. So if king f1, I can check on e3. I think I should play this way, just because we win his dark square bishop. That looks helpful. I got to be a little cautious about him trying to stifle my bishop. I don't want him to easily go and play like f5 at some stage. So we lose the c4 pawn back. On the whole, I'm not that upset about that. Okay, now let's play f6. I'm going to try to reintroduce this piece by playing bishop f7 and maybe e5 later. Let's play e5 right away, actually. Let's see if he wants to trade. Okay, now bishop b3 could be a threat. Let's take here first, and then give a check. And then take that, and probably come in here. Our structure is totally sound on this side of the board, so yeah, we can afford to go after his queenside pawns while he has little counterplay elsewhere. Let's do this, and then probably rush the a-pawn. Yeah, not much to be done for white. Here's Ein. Rematch. So if you just joined us, we're just hanging out. I'm trying to get to 2800 bullet. It's going to be a slow road, but it's fun trying to get there. Let's play queen c2, defending c4. This is a line that I played in London. Queen b3, attacking b7. Let's play e3. Faced this line a lot recently, I gotta say. I've really, yeah, been seeing it quite frequently. Okay, let's go bishop e2. We'll just play this kind of slow for now. I don't know if white technically has any advantage now, but I can try. I'm attacking this pawn. Okay, let's bring this rook over. Win this pawn. Maybe knight back here, try to win a6 at some stage. I can take that, right? See if he wants to swap. If he plays rook a8, I have bishop b7, and then I can go after the d5 pawn. So that's nice. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to advance my b pawn pretty soon. At least that's my plan. Let's go here. I missed that he could do that. But I have rook c7 at least. He could play knight d6. Let's check. And then take here. So my bishop is helping to defend. Let's bring this over. Bring this back. Just trying to stabilize the position a little bit. Go here. Oh, I'm way down on time. That is what might do me in, is the time. Let's give a check. He's going to do that, huh? Okay, well, let's go for queen now. Go take that. Go take this next. Oh, I stalemated. No! Yeah, I figured something like that might happen with the amount of time I had. Okay, good game, Frankie. So yeah, our rating goes down from that, 26-37. I think I played too slowly Probably right after I won the pawn. So, okay, let's play a different opening this time. We'll play a Hikaru Con. Maybe we'll play this line with c5, see how that goes. Knight c6, and go pin him with bishop g4. Try to get an improved French, basically. That's the plan. I think these lines are dangerous for white. I mean, white has to know what they're doing. Actually, they're dangerous for both colors, I should say. Both sides must be aware of what's happening. He's going to try to stick his knight in on e4, so I'll play to stop that for now. Okay, let's give it check. And maybe queen here. He might be able to take d4, though. I don't know. I could have taken c4. I should have done that. Okay, let's do this for now. Okay, I'm going to castle. This is not a good position, actually. Not at all. Down a pawn, and I'm kind of struggling. I'm going to try to trade a little bit. He can always stick his knight in on d4. It's really annoying. Okay, let's do this. I have a hard time generating counterplay. Okay, at least I can take that. He can go knight d7, though. Let's play for g5. Oh, that's bad, because that's a mating net. It's quite unfortunate. I can't do much here. I can't do hardly anything, actually. I'm really stuck. Very much stuck. Oh, you won my rook, too. Okay, I'm going to resign this game. Mental note, don't play Hikaru Con. Hikaru Con's a bad opening. John, in the game you just drew when he played rook b8, you had bishop takes. Oh, with my dark square bishop on the h2 b8 diagonal? Maybe I could have played that, yeah. Ah, Frankie has to go. He says he has a crying baby on his hands. Okay, good games, Frankie. Let's see who else wants to play. Just going to tell him good games. Yakov N is still online, but I don't know if he's willing to play. Ah, how about this guy? Bahadir Ozen. Let's see if he wants to play. This is a guy I've played before, so he might be willing to accept. He's a FIDE master. Bahadir Ozen, bullet rating of 2702. He might be willing to give us a game. Or how about JJYC? Not taking challenges. Tulipaz. Also not taking challenges. We're coming up a little empty right now. Trying my best against the higher rated players, guys. Coming up a little empty. So, in the meantime, let's go back to these challenges we currently have. Ian Partridge. You're on deck, man. 1311, another English player. No, Rick, I'm not part of a multi-channel network. I am independent on YouTube. I know, Eric. I shouldn't have played the Caro. Should have been Scandi all the way. Sean, my next tournament is the North American Open in Las Vegas. That's December 26th through 30th. And after that, I'll be playing a tournament in Texas, way in South Texas, in Brownsville. It's a GM Norm round robin tournament. And I'm still getting the details on that, but that will be, I think, January 5th through 10th, I believe, are the dates. So I'll be getting ready for that. Okay, who else? How about Lorenzo? Yo, Lorenzo, are you there? Aristides, I'm just kidding. The Caro is a perfectly fine opening. But for my purposes, Scandi is a lot stronger. Yeah, Lorenzo, you're up. I just challenged you, so I hope you see this. Hello, Drumify. Thanks for checking in from Germany. I do not have any tattoos, Andrew. Currently, no plans for tournaments in Europe, Emil. No. After that London one, I'm thinking about playing the Reykjavik Open in March. So I might go to Iceland in March, but beyond that, I don't have a lot of plans for European tournaments. It's always tricky to arrange a European trip because ideally it'd be best to play a couple tournaments in a row in Europe. So if I'm able to do that, I think that would be cool. Otherwise, it's just kind of one-off trips like for this London Chess Classic. So we've had a couple of people miss their games. But Aryaranga is here, and he's playing a Sicilian. Let's try to advance in the center with d4. Let's get these pawns rolling in the middle. He takes. Maybe e5. Maybe we can stick our knight on e4. This looks good. Let's play h3. Whoa, I meant to play pawn h3, not bishop h3. Oh well. At least he can't advance h4 now because his knight would hang. Let's play the bishop out to f4. He's castling queenside. That's an interesting decision. I feel like his king could be uncomfortable here, but that remains to be seen if it's truly the case. He's going to hide it. He's hiding the king. I'm going to stick my knight on c5 at some stage soon. Let's do this right now. And then let's play knight c5. I'm a little worried about this long diagonal leading towards my king, but I think it should be all right. Let's bring the bishop back. His queen looks offsides on this square. Let's offer a trade. I'm willing to take this trade if he wants. Okay, I'll take that. Bring the knight into f5. This looks like a good square. Maybe knight d6 in the future. Hitting that bishop, so if the knight moves, we can play like bishop takes b7 or knight takes b7. Here we've got a fork on the two rooks. Let's go win that one. Let's play h4. I'm going to be mean and offer a queen trade when I'm ahead in material. Rook d1, attack d7. Ooh, now I can take here, and if he takes with the bishop, we take with the queen. Yeah, and go after his queen on d8. And now we can comfortably trade. Trade pieces. Just make sure I'm not stalemating him. Okay, there we go. So we win that one. Thanks for the game, Aryaranga. Yeah, I mouse slipped with bishop h3. Definitely didn't mean to play that move. I was trying to play pawn h3 and then knight e4. All right. Who's up next? Let's play the house from Switzerland. Yeah, I don't know how you missed it either, Lorenzo. Something happened with your game? Okay, Hedgie22, you've been challenging for quite a while. You're up. Oh, he's got a little picture of a hedgehog, too. Does that mean you're going to play the hedgehog opening? It's a good line. You can play it with white even as well. Hi, John. Do you own a giant chess set or just that one big piece in the background of your videos? Just that one piece. That's a trophy that I got from a tournament. It has a little nameplate on it. So yeah, just that one. I don't have a gigantic chess set, although that would be really cool. No game here. R. Gomez, are you there? Play e4 again. Okay, Jonas, I'll accept your challenge next. I see your name up there. So if R. Gomez is not here, you're up. Looks like R. Gomez is having connection problems. We'll give him a little more time. All right, Jonas, I'm going to try to find you. Because I did see you challenging earlier. Now I can't find you anymore. Can you send me another challenge? Would be good if you could. All right, I'm going to try to find you in a different way. Okay, check C. Because I can't find you, Jonas, right now. I'm going to play check C. We'll play a bunch of games, so don't worry if I don't get to your challenge right away. I hope you're here, too. Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you're sending a challenge, guys, you're, like, actually ready to play when I click on you. All right, check C is here. Cool. And we're having Accelerated Dragon. He's attacking d4 very quickly. I don't like to play f3 in these setups until it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, I think it's kind of a mistake. So, like, now f3 is a decent move because it stops knight g4. Black's light square bishop would be assisting in preparing knight g4, so I think this is appropriate timing for this. Let's play rook e1. I might play for knight d5 soon. In fact, let's do that right now so that after a pawn trade, we get some pressure here. And I think I can just win e7. Yeah, because he severed his coordination. His queen is no longer defending that. Let's give a check here. I just want to see what he does with his king. And then we'll double up. And I'm going to try to keep that pin on the queen for now. Ooh, but this is going to lose material. Yeah, and we won. This can be a nice pawn structure. So when I take on d5 with the e-pawn, I open up an attack on e7. The rook is bearing down there. If you recall, there was a game between Magnus Carlsen and Vishy Anand from one of their World Championship matches. I think it was like game 3 or 4 of their second match in Chennai, I believe. Is that their second match? Can't even remember now. But yeah, there was a game where Anand got this type of structure with black, and he had pressure on Carlsen's e2 pawn. So it's a nice structure. It's hard for black to get rid of this weakness because if ever they advance it, you're just taking it with the pawn. So this can be a long-term target. Okay, going back to the challenges. All right, DJ Hunts, 1086. And he's ready to go. Let's play d5. Play a Slav. Move the knight to f6. Exchange Slav. Let's play bishop g4, just see how he reacts to that. See if he was paying attention earlier when I said that you shouldn't play f3 in response to this move. Looks like he was. Let's back this up so we keep our pin. Not sure what he'll do with this bishop, whether he'll trade on c6 or not. For now, I'm just going to line up with his queen. Go attack that queen. And maybe bishop back to g6 next move, because I'm threatening knight c2, forking the 2 rooks. Yep, and we get this move in. So we managed to infiltrate to the heart of the white position. Let's take the rook in the corner, and then go queen a5. So this knight is pinned. Also, I can try to set up a threat on the bishop. He's got to watch this piece. Let's go a6. Maybe knight e4 after this, once he puts the bishop on d3. Ooh, he's giving me the bishop. Why would you do that? Yeah, he could have played bishop d3. Now this is going to get painful. Now there's an attack on the queen on c2. Discovery. And Mr. Hunts is going to lose more material. All right, he resigned. Not a bad game at the beginning. White was playing an exchange Slav. Kind of a delayed exchange Slav. Well, not delayed. They took on d5 plenty early. But I think it's better, instead of e3, which blocks in the dark square bishop, I think it's better to play the bishop out first. So what's popular at the highest level is playing bishop f4 right in this position so that you liberate the bishop and only then play e3. Just a better construction going forward. Yeah, there is a slight delay in the stream when it reaches you guys. Okay. Let's play someone maybe a little bit higher rated. French and Slav, I think you've been waiting for a while. Let's see if you're here. 2054. Your move, sir. Okay, let's play e6. I'll offer to go into a French if he wants. We'll play the so-called caress defense, bishop b4 check. Okay, now we're transposing into a Nimzo Indian. Let's play d6. We'll play this in a restrained manner. I don't really know what I'm doing in these Nimzo-esque positions, but we'll see what happens. I think this is a good time to take, because if he takes with the knight, I can take d4, so let's do this. Then maybe b6 and try to go bishop a6. I want to pressurize c4. So that's my plan with this setup. I want to go knight a5 and double attack this pawn if I can. And he's coming at me in the center. Probably a good plan. How to deal with this? This already looks nasty for me. I do not like this. Okay, I'm going to go queen e7. Because now his rook on f1 is undeniably participating in matters. So if he takes with his f-pawn, I could be in trouble. Yeah, he's doing good stuff. Okay, let's take. I guess I'll just capture now and see what happens. Let's go here. At least try to get out of the pin. This is not good because he has d5, but I can take on f5 then. Okay, so maybe this is acceptable. I backed my way into this. I still think this is bad somehow, but maybe I can survive. We'll see. Can I take on d4? That would be kind of cool if so, but I think I should play this safe. Let's just take this. And then we'll play g6 and stop queen g7 mate. Let's go here. And go attack his queen. Ooh, he was down on time, so he blundered his queen, which works out very well for me. Yeah, I mean, had he not been down on time, I think he would have killed me there. But as it stands, we got the back rank checkmate. Yeah, this kind of shows my inexperience in the black side of these positions, because like after he plays f4, my position's just bad. You have to be very careful how you handle this for black, because he got pretty much everything you want in this structure, and I didn't realize that until too late. I was trying to go for this classic Nimzo plan of bishop a6, knight a5, and then attack c4. But in the meantime, I'm getting killed on the king side. Like all these moves, my knight is pinned, his knight's coming into f5, he has the luxury of f takes e5 whenever he wants. So if I am to pinpoint a mistake, maybe I rushed e5. And also maybe here, maybe I should play h6. I think h6 would have been prudent to rule out bishop g5. If I do that, then this position looks acceptable for black. Okay. 365 viewers, so we're kind of holding steady at 350 plus. We're about an hour and a half into the stream, so hello to you guys. Everyone joining a little late here. Okay. I'm going to search for, again, some games against top players. I'm hoping to get in some matches with some, let's say, like 2,500 plus opponents. It's just tough because a lot of them are kind of idling in chat. I mean, you never know why people will log into chess.com. I've certainly been in chess.com a lot where I'm not playing. Oftentimes I'll teach on chess.com, so I'm just like hanging out like before or after or during a lesson. And people may be challenging me fruitlessly. Okay, how about Jay Landau? This is a player that usually is up for playing a game. Let's see if he's willing to get in a couple games. There's also someone named Will Resign for Beer that I'm challenging. They're rated about 2394. Hey, Alex, I think I'll try to make some further endgame videos in the next few days. I'm leaving for that tournament on Christmas Day, December 25th, but I'll try to make a few more before I go. How often do you play chess, John? Pretty much every day. Now that I have the channel, I post a video every day. So unless I'm stockpiling videos, it means I'm online playing chess. Sometimes it might be only one game a day in the case of like my blitz or standard videos, but I consistently play. Thanks, Lawrence. Yeah, I'll try to keep my passion for chess alive. Chess is a great game. It's the only game that's held my interest like throughout my entire life. I played other games before. I mean, we were just talking about computer games not long ago. But chess is something I've always come back to. I feel like there's always so much to learn in chess. And there's all these different levels that the deeper you go into it, the more intriguing and beautiful it becomes, in my opinion. And I think that's a sign of a good game. Yeah, I got to make some more of those, W Deflect. Some 1-minute videos on ICC. Hey, John, how often did you study when you went from 1,000 to 2,000? To be honest, I played a lot more than I studied in that range. And I'm a big believer in playing consistently and especially playing in tournaments. Those of you out there who are in the rating range of 1,000 to 2,000, if you're wondering what the best way to improve is, it's to play tournament chess. Play longer games, analyze those games, and just be very diligent about playing consistently. I mean, if you do that, you're going to get an increase in rating. The key is, though, that you're actually looking at the games, too. So I shouldn't say it's just enough to play, but you have to take the game seriously, and you have to look at each game as a mini experiment to test your latest understanding of the game and your theories about how to improve. And you will notice trends and patterns emerging. Hi, John. My name is Vladimir. I'm from Russia. It's first time when I'm seeing you online. It's cool. Thank you for your instructive videos. Yeah, thanks, Vladimir. You've got quite a chess culture in your country. So thank you for checking in. All right, I'm going to try to play some more games. Again, I'm doing my best to get games against good players, but they're just not biting right now. I'm sending out a bunch of challenges, not getting much. Well, let's try Other Gabe. Other Gabe's a guy that we played before. Ooh, and he accepted right away. 2290. Let's play a little bishop g4, knight d7 action. Go e5. Usually they end up playing for e4 out of this setup. Yep, he does. Let's stick the bishop on c5. Then castle. This is a really popular bullet opening, the way that white is playing this. I mean, I've done this myself recently, too. Because you can just play a lot of moves like really quickly in this line. I like this when they play g4, though, because I feel like the weakness of f4 is telling. I feel like I can maneuver my knight in there, oftentimes. So I'll look to do that. I'll even do this first. Let them trade if they want. He does trade. Now we're attacking e4. So let's try to go right back in here now that his bishop was defending e4. All right, let's exploit that. Jump in. Double up the rooks. So now he's got two knights that are looking menacing on the king side, but the problem is, like, what does he do with those pieces? It's hard to make a lot of progress. Okay, now we control the d file. I'm liking this a lot. Let's go back here with the knight so as not to block the file. Also, queen takes g5 is a threat. Bear in mind. He must defend against that. Now his queen side is open to the elements. I think he's going to kind of go for it on the king side and try somehow to get at us. Do I want to take that? I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to try to bring up some reinforcements. My time's a bit low, but not as low as his. If he plays queen d3, I can play queen takes g2. That's kind of a nice idea. Let's bring this other knight up to terrorize him. So other knight coming into f4. This looks awesome. Offer a trade. See if he wants it. And he's just going to lose on time here. Too far down on the clock. All right, so that was kind of a nice game. I like that one when we're able to maneuver around and take advantage positionally of the opponent's weaknesses. So game number 2 against Other Gabe. Let's play for opening the center. I'm going to go e3 followed by d4. And just rip this baby right open. Maybe knight h4 or knight g5. Let's go knight g5. Knight g5 looks more fun. Ooh, check. That is not good. That is not good for black. He's going to have to run with his king. King d7. Otherwise, if king e7, he's getting mated. He just resigned. Rematch offered. Suddenly my mouse is moving slow for some reason. Try to make the best of it here. Okay, let's bring the bishop out to f5, e6. Really standard Scandi position that you're seeing right here. Let's go queen c7. Just so that if they ever take on g6 and I take back, I'm threatening mate on h2 ASAP. Maybe I'll castle queenside. I think I will. Especially if we trade the dark square bishops. I think castling this way and trying to attack him on the king side would be good. Let's go g5 first, though. And then we'll play rook h5 and look to double up. Because already, how does he defend this pawn? It's tough. Okay, I'm going to go here and then play rook here. It's kind of awkward, though. I probably shouldn't do this. We'll see how it turns out. He can't play f3 because of queen takes g3 at least. So, well, all right, he blundered that. Now, how to crush him? I guess I'll just get this in first. No. Let's go knight d5. I wasn't quite sure what to do there. He has knight e4. But I have queen h2, I guess, if necessary. All right, I'm going to go for the endgame, just to speed up a little bit. And then play g5. Try to lock in his bishop a little bit. Maybe I can give him a timely check. Gotta watch that time, though. Okay. I gotta watch myself. This is not good. I'm not playing this in the best way. Because now he can take, and I'm gonna have to go after his queenside pawns. Let's give him a check here first. Let's just see where he goes. Check again. I'm not taking a draw. I lose massive rating points if I take a draw, so... Okay. Oh, I lost on time. I gambled with the no draw and I lost on time. All right. That can happen in time scrambles. Looks like I was getting the best of him with the two pawns in that frenzied time scramble. Let's go knight f3 again. Same thing? This turned out very well the first time around, so I wouldn't mind repeating this. If he goes d5, I think c4, and just try to open up the center, basically. Now let's take. Maybe he can get away with taking on d4 somehow, but it seems dangerous at the very least. Let's keep attacking. Bishop f6, perhaps? Okay, he's going to do that. Okay, let's... I'll just take the pawn. I'm just going to bank that pawn. He has bishop h3, attacking me on the light squares. But for now, we're ahead a pawn. I'm happy. I'm pleased. Let's go here. Let's play bishop g5. I'm trying to focus in on the f6 square. I might force him to play f6 himself. Let's go here. Go queen b5, attack this pawn. And let's jump in. If he takes, I feel like this pawn is going to be strong. I hope it might be a pain for him to recover. So now I can do this, and rook d7 coming. Okay, let's take once. Get a little bit closer. Let's play h4. King up to g2. Just all improving moves, basically. Nothing too fancy about these. Yeah, he's rook d6, I suppose. Let's give a check. Let's come here. He's very far down on time, though, is his issue. All right, so we win that one on time. Rematch. Other game, whoops, I meant to play d5, but we'll play it this way, I suppose. I guess we're getting into a King's Indian. Or some sort of torre with bishop g5. I'm going to just play for e5. So rook e8, kind of go from there. Let's take with the knight first. See if he wants to swap. Now I feel like my position's okay. This looks completely acceptable. Rook d8. Maybe, nah, that's not good. Let's play bishop f5, attack the queen. Tempting me with that move. Okay, let's go here. Maybe he can play e4. Although I have knight takes e4 then, so this should be all right. All right, I'm just going to take that now and then go rook d8. He has rook d1, so this position is just roughly equal. I don't see anything huge for either side. I'm going to keep this knight. I want to see if I can go f5 eventually. And maybe even e4 after that. For now, let's go h6, though. I feel like this pawn will be weak. Oh, well, there's that. Not good by me. All right, I got to retreat now. I'm on the defensive. All right, let's take. He can check me on f6, but I hope I can survive. Survive and thrive. That's the name of the game. He's going to go after my queenside pawns. I can only hope that my speed makes up for my bad position. Well, he's got a lot of time, though. So this is going to be tough. Took that way. I think that's a draw. Okay. Yeah, draw is fair result in that one. Let's go for a rematch. This is a good match, so I'm willing to play him again. I'm going to see if I can catch him pre-moving e5. Nope, couldn't catch him. So we're going to get like a reversed sort of Grinfeld position. More of an English now that I played c4 and knight c3. Let's play knight d5. Okay, take. Let's take here. Bring this back. He could take c4 if he wants. He did not. Okay, let's go bishop h6. I just want to develop with tempo. I think bishop h6 is good. Ooh, he's willing to trade. Surprised. Now I have a good chance of keeping my extra pawn, I think. I'm going to try to go queen d4 next move, and then f4. So try to get pawn f4 in. Would be a really nice way to continue. Wow, he's just going to take that, because he sees that if f4, he can take b3. All right, well, I got to go for this, I think. Queen b6, yep, good idea. Let's bring this rook in and try to attack this pawn. So maybe we have some pressure here. I mean, there's not a whole lot of material remaining, but maybe we have something. This rook is hard to move. Yeah, then again, he can move his rook away now. He could have moved his rook away, that is. Okay, so now I'm down a pawn at an endgame once again. Not fun. He can move his rook away. All right, we're going to have another draw. All right, so what's the match score? 4-2? Not bad, but could be better. Let's play bishop g4, pin him. e6, just stop bishop takes f7 ideas. Let's go here. He's playing this aggressive. Okay, let's go knight bd7, immediately hit this knight. We'll go c6. So he has the pair of bishops, but we have a really compact structure that is characteristic for this opening. So I don't feel concerned. And he castled short. I could castle short or long. It's hard to say which one's the best. I might go long. We'll see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go long. We'll make it more interesting. He wants a trade. I don't want to trade, though, yet. So I will decline your generous offer. Let's go queen a5. Maybe I can play my queen over to g5 in the future. I'm just trying to stay ahead on the clock. Like right now I'm up like 15 seconds. I like that. Okay, let's bring this over. I feel like he may have issues defending d4 in the long run. And I think he knows that he has to speed up too. So he's going to try to do so soon. Okay, let's just take that. He's going to win f7, but that's all right. Go fork these two. Ah, he found a refutation. Not nice. All right, take here. Ooh, we get the fork here, but he has a way out of that too, 94. His knight is on the run. It's hard for him to figure out squares for all his pieces when he's this low on time. Yeah, the time is just going to catch up with him. Okay. I'm going to pause here for a second, just check in with you guys. We're almost 2 hours into this. Probably keep going a little bit longer. Thanks, Tyler. Glad you could tune in live. Okay, let's do knight f3 again. He plays d4 this time, so we've transposed into a d4 opening. Let's play queen c2. I played this line already a few times today. Take this. So he's locking in the light square bishop. Usually not how you play it. You can get it out now, though. Bishop f5 if he wants. It's probably a good idea. I'll go a4, just stop him from playing a4. I weakened some squares, though, on my queen side, undeniably. Oh, don't do this. I don't want to draw. He can chase my queen around a little bit, but I think it's fine. So my queen side is slumbering at the moment, but it will become active. Mark my words. I'm going to go for e4. Just open the position. I really want to play d5, but I think it's better to just kind of wait here. Let's go attack that knight. Can I do knight g5, threatening this and also taking here? This looks good. Also, maybe I can take on b4. He can play queen d7. That's about the only way I can see he can defend. So now we're hitting the knight again. Let's go here. So yeah, attacking it once more. He's probably got to retreat it. He does. All right, I'm going to go f3. His bishop's kind of trapped anyway, so I think it's okay to do this. Let's play e5. If he wants to take, he has to step right into a pin. But so am I pinned here. I can't capture because my queen would be hanging. It's most important just to continue playing fast, though. That's the main thing. Ooh, now we're going to win his rook or his bishop. One of the two. Yeah. This knight's a goner. Oh, I didn't see that. That was possible. But I think we're still going to win. Knight f6 was playable there, too. All right, we get the victory. Rematch sent to other Gabe. Yeah, thanks, Chris Town. That's just something that comes with a lot of practice, being able to commentate while playing Bullet. And as you're seeing, like, it's not like my thoughts are crystal clear when I'm playing. There's some times when I'm just like, I'm going here because it's the best thing to do. Just trust me. All right, let's play h6, just so if ever knight h4 is played, I don't have to worry about my bishop getting trapped. I'm going to go here and then play b5 and eventually go knight d7 and try to get the knight into a4. I think this is a good plan in this line. So let's first take, and then we'll go here. And yeah, I just want to go knight b6 and into a4. That's the idea. Because once we do this, b2 is hard to defend. Like, he can't put a rook on b1 because I just take it with my bishop. So this position is collapsing. He can take b5, but I take c3. This is already tough for him. He's going to do it. b2, yeah, let's do b2. If he takes here, we take his rook and then take his bishop on c8. So he's losing material. Also, knight e4 is a threat. So we can just go after that rook on c1. All right. Hey, Anton, I'm glad you were able to make the stream today. You said on Twitter that you might not be able to make it. You said it might be the first stream that you've never made. So I'm glad you showed up. Orbitage, no, I didn't put an announcement video for this one. I just scheduled it yesterday, so all I did was announce it on Twitter, and I scheduled the stream. You guys should get a notification on Twitter when on YouTube when I do schedule a stream, so you should be able to see it. You guys like my dinosaur cup, by the way? We got the T-Rex there, some flying dinosaur, the old Stegosaurus. I have no idea how I got this cup. Like, it just appeared in my cupboard one day. I think one of my friends brought it over or something. Who else can we play? Ooh, okay. This is this Jonas? I think this is you from earlier. I hope you're here, because I finally saw your challenge. So, all right, he's here. We're having a Sicilian. Jonas from Australia. Ooh, let's go here, because your dark squares look kind of weak. I get to get this knight in. I don't know about those dark squares. This is a nice piece to have entrenched in your position. Let's just castle now. He can't develop that bishop anyways, so... Okay, let's just develop. He's going to try to play bishop a6, but I'm going to attempt to barrel through down the f-file. I think this is a good way to play. Just look to attack him. I'll take here. Because now I win this knight, don't I? Let me just calculate for a second. Yeah, I think I win the knight. So we have this defense. Let's offer a trade of queens. Ooh, he drops the queen on f6. Trade the bishops. Attack. His king has a hard time escaping. He's all trapped in. Let's go knight f4. Stick the dagger in somewhere. Can pre-move knight g5. And then take on e6. This looks tasty. If he takes, we get at f8. What's your question, Drumify? Would you recommend, what slightly advanced book would you recommend to a 22-year-old? Piece coordination, middle, and endgame. Beginner / slightly advanced. I keep plugging this book because I just really like it, but Amateur to IM by Jonathan Hawkins. It's an awesome book. I learned a lot from it. The commenter, what's your username? Authenticos. Okay, I'll try and find you. Good game to you, Jonas. Yeah, the problem is I've got so many challenges that it's like they're oh, I think I found you. All right, Authenticos. Oh, Canada. Here we go. Another player who plays knight f3 on move 2. Not anticipating the strength of the Scandi. I mean, I think you guys would learn by now that d5 is coming, but apparently not. Now he's got to retreat his knight to h3, so we can take that, double up his pawns. We'll get our knight out to c6 and then castle next move, probably. I gotta watch f7, though. f7 is kind of weak. You know what? I'm just going to sack that pawn, though. I'm going to let him take it if he wants. Because maybe I can get something going against... Whoa, what does knight take c7? Why did you do that? Authenticos, what are you doing sacking your knight on c7? Does not compute. Let's pile up against this bishop. So we win that. Come over here. Now we're going to get this rook in soon. And actually, it's going to be mate. Rook takes d1. Okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to send a rematch. But good game, Authenticos. Anyone else who's been here for a while but hasn't had their challenge accepted? Ah, Mona, I'm your Fin0905 fan. Yes, Matthew, you can challenge me on chess.com. Like I said, I'm trying to get to everyone. You know what? I'm going to play Zeitgeist Call because I've seen you. I don't know if this one, this is someone who's currently active in the chat right now, but I see you've been challenging for quite a while, so let's do this. Yeah, Orbitage, knight takes c7. That was just kind of a shot in the dark by Authenticos. Cowardly Shoe, I don't know. I have played that tournament several years. It depends. It's kind of a long trip to go down there for a 5-round tournament. Taking a trip down to Iowa. All right, sorry, Zeitgeist. Appears you weren't there. Fin0905 fan, I'm going to try to find you. Looking, looking, looking. I don't see you. How about Robot Robbie? Hope you're there. Let's have a game. Yeah, you can also do that. I forgot about that command that Jonas said. You can do play Fin090510 with the slash. There's text-based commands on chess.com. Another aborted game. So sad. Ram Country? Are you there? Apparently not. How about I Am So Bad? Or M. Salian. 1612. All right. Let's play a Dutch. Let's make Simon Williams proud. We're going to play a classical Dutch with e6 and bishop e7. And then castles. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, so take it easy on me. I'm going to try to go for typical Dutch play like queen h5, e5, f4, all that good stuff. Try to get my pieces aimed at his king. We're going for that king on g2. And he breaks in the center. All right, we're going to try to ignore that for now. And see what he does. Maybe knight b4. Knight e5 looks good. Let's get rid of one of the defenders around his king. And then maybe once this pawn traffic clears, I'm hoping that my bishop can make an appearance on h3 down the road. So like if he takes here, my bishop will come out. If he takes f5, it comes out even further. Then eventually I can get it into h3. He's doing exactly what I want him to do. It's like he heard me. And he's like, okay, John, I'll go along with your plans. That's a discovery on my king on g8, so let's sidestep that. Oh, I see Hikaru is back online, guys. I'm going to try to get a game with him. We'll see what happens. I'm going to bring the rook over. I don't want to take here yet because he's going to take with his queen and defend h2. So I want to find a way to get this queen so it's no longer defending the bishop. And I think maybe rook f6 could be a way. But yeah, he's just going to trade and then come back with his queen, it looks like. And we're not trading queens, definitely not. This position looks fine here, but he just has no time. He's going to run out. He's got 3 seconds left. Okay, we'll play e4. Maybe try to get out the pawn on c5, although he can just take this pawn. All right, so we won against M. Salehian. I got to challenge Hikaru while he's available. I'm still getting blocked by the Hikaru is not accepting challenges. Someone asked about a book on openings for lower-rated players. I like Fundamental Chess Openings by Van der Sterren. That's a good one because it strikes a nice balance between opening theory and also just the plans and ideas. So I would recommend that book. Yeah, Zeitgeist, challenge me again, because I saw you were challenging for quite a while. You guys should tell Hikaru on Twitter that he should play Finns. Even if I get slaughtered, I will gladly play him. Hikaru's on Twitter, so yeah, if you can, let him know. Don't like spam him or anything, but just politely let him know that John would like to play. All right, Zeitgeist, here we go. Good luck to you. Let's play a Sicilian this time. And I'll play a Najdorf if he allows. Maybe we can get a main line. Oh, he's playing the trendy bishop b5 check lines. Seems like every top player in the world is playing this way these days. I'm going to fianchetto this dark square bishop. Put the knight on f6, hit the pawn on e4. Castle. Pretty typical stuff. Looks like he might be playing for... thought he might play for f4, but he decides to play a bit more restrained. Keep that pawn on f3. Let's just double up the rooks. And then, I'm not sure I like my rook on c6. I think I'm going to drop it back. I'm going to go rook b7, maybe b4 eventually. I'm dropping a6, but hopefully he doesn't notice that. Don't take a6, Zeitgeist, please. Thank you for allowing me to defend that. I think queen coming into a4 would be nice, attacking the pawn and also the knight. We've got some pressure on his queen side. Let's bring this knight back. Now the bishop is unleashed. Maybe I can go knight a5 and into c4, or knight e5 rather. He drops a piece though. b3, I could take here, attack his queen. We're both getting a little short on time. Knight c5, just block him down the file. Let's go here and try to go for a4. Attack that pawn on b3. And we won. All right, you had a decent position, though, Zeitgeist. I think my position somehow became awkward after I doubled up the rooks on the c-file. Because I'd like to play for b4, but that was never easy to achieve. In reality, I think my queen is misplaced on d7. I need the knight there so I can start maneuvering. So, good game to you. Ah, Dane, you tweeted Hikaru? All right. Nope, I never played with Carlson, BisQP. Never played him, to my knowledge. Unless he was, like, playing anonymously on some site. Hikaru is playing right now. Not according to what I see. Doesn't look like he's playing anyone. Is there a bullet player whose play you admire most? Yeah, I mean, Hikaru is otherworldly, so it's hard not to admire him. I like how Eric Hansen plays bullet, too. Because he's fast and he's accurate. He'll just go for you, but he doesn't slow down. And it's crazy when watching Eric versus Hikaru in bullet, because it just reminds you like how good Hikaru is. The fact that he makes Eric look pedestrian. Yeah, 385 people watching the stream. I agree, Sean. That's an awesome turnout. I haven't made much progress on the road to 2,800, but like I said, this will be an ongoing thing, and been trying to get some of the top guys to take a challenge, but nobody's really willing. I've been trying, but it's pretty much the same people who are high rated and bullet logged in, and not much action. But I like playing you guys too. All right, how about you, Radu? Are you there? I'm opening with d4 this game. Radu is there. Okay. What's it going to be? King's Indian? All right, I'm going to play an Averbach, which is the line that I wanted to play last time I got into this. So in the Averbach, you develop the bishop out to g5, and you create certain pressure already down this diagonal. I think playing f4 and then bringing the knight in behind is good. This is one benefit of delaying the development of the knight to f3. It's kind of a nice aspect of it, I think. So, let's play queen b3, just so if he takes on f3, I can comfortably recapture with the bishop. I feel like this knight is going to be misplaced on b6. It has to move if he ever wants to play b5. So let's see if we can prove that. I would love to play for e5. And in fact, I think I'm going to do so now. Strike while the iron is hot. You can't take with a queen, my knight covers. So yeah, he drops back, but now I can take this pawn, hitting the rook. Also, bishop d6 is coming next, attacking this rook. Let's take that. And let's go e6. I'm going to try to open up the middle of the board. And then we can take here. Now if he takes my bishop, I have e takes f7 check. So hence he takes that way, but even though we lose h2 with check, I don't think it's going to help him much. Let's just sack the bishop on f5. Why not? Let's go for it. I'm a little worried about his queen coming into g3, so I think I'm gonna avoid taking here for the moment and instead have my queen participate coming over. So let's bring the queen over like this, attack that bishop, which has nowhere to go. Yeah, let's just take that. Okay. So this is kind of an interesting line, the Averbach variation. Bishop g5, bishop e2, and you leave the knight back for now. You don't commit to knight f3, because sometimes you can play an f4 and then bring the knight in behind. Also, it's worth noting that in this particular position, Black's typical King's Indian move, e5, is bad because white can trade pawns and then go queen takes d8, rook takes d8, knight d5. And if you've seen me play the exchange variation of the King's Indian, this is kind of similar, but in a vastly improved form for white, because we're attacking the knight on f6 twice, here and here, and we're also attacking c7. So white has traded moves, like instead of, as normal in the exchange position, the knight on f3, and this bishop back on c1, we have the bishop already out on g5, which is much better as far as attacking f6. So that's nice. John, why chess.com instead of Lichess? Just switching it up. I like chess.com as well. I haven't played here all that often, but I do like chess.com's resources, and a lot of top players are playing on chess.com. Like Hikaru plays exclusively here, so if I'm ever going to get a game with him, I figure I should start trying a little bit on this site. Yeah, there's quite a few strong title players playing on chess.com at all hours. I tried to send Georg Meyer a challenge. Let me try him one more time and see if he's willing to play. I think he's just kind of hanging out, but you never know. All right, J. Lou. How's it going to you? J. Lou, also a consistent viewer and active on Reddit. He's in the Reddit chess forum frequently. Glad we finally get a game in. I'm going to try to hit you with c4 and attack that d5 pawn. Now my strategy will differ depending upon which way he takes back, and he ends up taking with the pawn, the e-pawn that is. So I'm going to play for e4. I'm going to try to advance and attack this bishop. First we're going to get a trade, most likely. And let's go bishop f4. Develops the queen. Okay, let's play rook e1, just overprotect this pawn. And then I feel like I can maybe go after this light square bishop. So I'll play knight e5, looking to do so. I His queen might be a little uncomfortable, too, on his current space. So now I'm pinning his knight. I think he's going to want to escape that pin. All right, let's take this. And then, I really want to play e5, but it doesn't work out tactically. Let's go here first. Just stop knight g4. And then we're going to go f4. If knight d4, I'll play queen f2. Just swing the queen over there. All right, so now we get the desired e5 move in. This is a nice one to achieve. Now we're going to get a nice position. I think we win a pawn. So take that. Let's go rook e2, just guard the second rank. Bring this rook over. Bring our king up a little bit. All useful stuff. I think somewhere down the line, e6 is going to be nice for us. Let's go b4 first. Kick that knight. Now we can take here with check. We're going to win his knight. Let's take here. I want to go win that b6 pawn as well. Let's do this and then take b6 with check. Oh, we can't check there. Let's go bishop e3. Win the bishop. Now we're just going to advance our pawn and hopefully make a queen. Got mate coming up, so he resigned. This is a good illustration of how white sometimes plays this line. Not that this was perfect by any means, but in playing c4 on move 5 and then taking on d5, you're often able to establish a 2-to-1 majority in the center, which I want to utilize by advancing e4. And after I achieve e4, now I have a 4-to-3 majority in this area of the board, the center and on the king side. And eventually I want to activate those pawns. So I want to get these guys going. And that took a while, but I was able to unfold these pawns and eventually advance e5. And I feel like once white advances e5, they're in very good shape. So not a perfect game, but an illustration of what's going on in that line. What do you think about Geary, John? Possible next champ? I certainly like Geary's chances against Carlsen. I don't think Carlsen's ever beat him in classical chess. Maybe even overall. I don't know if he's ever beaten him. So Geary seems to have good nerves, and he doesn't seem intimidated by Carlsen whatsoever. So I think if they were to play a match, it would be a highly interesting one. Geary doesn't have any match experience, though, is the only thing. Someone asked if I see chess positions before I close my eyes at night. No, not really. I mean, if there's a particular position I'm pondering over, it might stick around in my head, but I don't have like chess-related dreams or anything like that, really. Okay, Barcaroli, you are up. Can't remember if I played you earlier or not, but I see you're challenging, so hopefully you're there. Beardico, what's your name? What's your username on there? Let's see if I can challenge you if possible. Try Hikaru again. Oh, he's playing someone. Okay, so he's actually playing the FM I was talking about, Bahadir Ozan. That guy's rating is a little higher than mine, so I'm not surprised that he went for him. Let's take a look at their game for a second. Oh, they've already played 5 games. And Bahadir is not doing well. But this is 3-minute. Yeah, they're playing 3-minute. I'll challenge Hikaru to 3-minute. My 3-minute rating isn't exceptional or anything, but maybe I can get something going. What's going on here? So knight d3 is what black has in mind. They're trying to give a check, whereupon this pawn is pinned. So can Hikaru get his way out of this? Actually, like, this is a fairly significant threat. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, okay, that's clever. So now on knight d3 check, he's going to play queen takes d3, I believe. And then the plan is if black were to take it, they would get mated. Rook c7. That's amazing. So he just goes back. This is a sharp position. Queen g3 check, maybe? Come over with the king. Yep, he plays it. Black blocks. Check. Ooh, and the queen is coming in. Next move, queen b8. Yeah, force rook d8 and take it over. Nice one. He played b3 and then Hikaru played g6. So white got out of the diagonal first. Hikaru really likes fianchettos in his blitz games, I've noticed. He's a big fan of that. Sure thing, Mohammed. Nice to get a game with you, too. I might go about 10 or 15 more minutes and then wrap this up. When you think it starts to get hard regarding over-the-board ratings above 2,000 FIDE, is that a question, Georgie? If you have a FIDE rating above 2,000, you're doing all right. Let's take a look at this game for a second, guys, and then I'll play a couple more games. What's going on here? I missed the last few moves. So Bahadir Ozan was throwing his G and H pawns at black. He lost the G5 pawn. Now Hikaru's up 2 pawns. And it doesn't look good for white. I think white's opening has been a failure. Maybe just bishop f5 here. Defend the pawn on e4 and get ready to castle long. Could also play bishop g4, actually. Bishop g4 would have been good, too. As if queen takes e4, rook takes e4. There was bishop f3 at the end. So Bahadir is going to exchange the bishops. Castle's short, so now he's hitting the pawn on f2. That's nice. It seems like Bahadir Ozan is playing pretty quickly. I mean, he's not getting killed on the clock against Hikaru, but Hikaru's moves are just that much better. Not surprising. Yeah, Pat, maybe I'll do one of those simuls sometime. I haven't done a whole lot of simul. I think I've only done one simul online before. What do you suggest if someone always gets into time trouble? I always do and don't know what to do against it. Sven, I think you have to force yourself to play quickly or play at a constant pace without regard to the clock situation, or with regard to the move quality, that is. So even if you play some suboptimal moves, I think it's worth it to play some games where your only goal is to stay playing at a reasonable pace. So stay ahead of your opponent on the clock, or even plan out in advance, like what's the maximum amount of time you're going to take on a move. And if you're still thinking at that point, it doesn't matter. You just have to make a move. I wouldn't recommend this for tournament chess, but doing that online is a good training method. In fact, I did that a little bit recently with a few blitz games. So I think that's one way you could try to cure time pressure. Time pressure is very tricky, though. There's no one cure-all for it. So you may have to experiment a little bit and see if there's something that does work for you. But forcing yourself to play fast is a decent start, and not worrying about the move quality. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to get to as many challenges as I can. It's kind of tough because I'm also trying to play some higher-rated players too. I promise I'm not ignoring your challenges. It's just there's just about probably 30 challenges on my screen, and I don't think it even it displays all of them. So trying my best here. Okay, Z Steven. Let's play you. Oops. Close a few tabs. Okay, let's go E4. Sure thing, B-Dog. Yeah, I think anyone can become 2,000 if they study sufficiently. I think that's an achievable rating for most everyone. Unless you're not able to dedicate like any time to chess study. And that's assuming that you have some time to spare to try to get better at chess. So, all right, let's play knight f3. So Z Steven was here. I'm going to let my clock tick down a little bit because he joined like halfway through the game. And I feel bad having a 2-to-1 time advantage. So I'll wait till I have about 30 seconds or so. 378 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I'm probably going to wrap up this stream in maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It's already been 2.5 hours or so. All right, let's bring the knight in here. I'm threatening knight c7. So we do get this move in. And then I can trade queens and go after that rook in the corner. Let's take that. Let's go here. It's going to be a race against the clock, though, isn't it? Okay, let's take that. It's going to be a huge race. Bring our king up a little bit. Maybe rook d6 check. This looks good. Get our rook in. And we're coming after his king. Okay, so get the victory against Z Steven. Yeah, maybe someday, Kyle Manstar. Thanks, Mauricio. I'm trying for those GM norms. E-player, I'm not ignoring you. What's your username? I don't even know your username on here. I don't think you're E-player on here because I can't find you. Ooh, Lufo. Okay, I'm going to play Lufo for a second. Lufo Chess, hope you're there. 1666. Ah, Maman Manuk is there too. A guy I recognize from Lee Chess. I don't think Lufo's around. Lufo walked away. All right, Maman Manuk or E-player? E-player, you're EFRND? I'll try to find you. I'm looking. I do not see you, E-player. All right, Maman Manuk. This will be a tough game. He's a solid opponent. What I remember about Maman Manuk is that he plays pretty conservative openings, and he's reasonably fast at the same time. So I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit in the opening stage of the game and attempt to take him out of his comfort zone. Because I know I've played him in some more traditional lines, and he's always seemed to be coming out okay out of the opening. All right, I'm going to try to give my knight a square to drop back to, although I do weaken c6 in the process. And he's probably going to try to put a knight in there to highlight that weakness. I probably should take that. But now he's going to play b5 and support it. But if he does, yeah, I might have had a counter-argument to that. Okay, let's go here and try to get at the bishop on b2 and also the knight. Ooh, so we'll get knight d2 and we can win the exchange. Let's go a6. And then I think b5 is good. If he plays c7, I'll at least win the exchange back, so that's kind of nice. Let's go here. And then do this. Not totally comfortable with his queen. His queen is quite strong where it's at right now. The queen-knight combo. Maybe I can take this pawn next. That remains to be seen. If he plays c7, I'm going to take on c7. I'm just going to sacrifice. I can do this. Yeah, you can take e7, but I think it's worth it to simplify a little bit in the interests of keeping up the tempo and maybe winning a pawn too. He can't take my knight because of back rank. Let's give it check. And then play for b4. Get a little fork in. Little fork action. Yeah, now he's got to go far away with his bishop, and he can't stop this pawn. All right, so we win against Maman Manuk. Want to play one more, Maman Manuk? Let's play one more. You're 2253, so good rating. Go c4 after this. All right, so just like in the game against J-Lu, I'm going to take and, yeah, play this resulting position. A lot of times they'll try to drag the queen out to b6, and then they'll come back and try to prove that the queen is misplaced on this square in the long run. So I think that's kind of an interesting strategy. He's taking. He's taking quite early on f3. Okay, let's just develop. Again, just like what I said before, I would like to arrange f4 at some point. So that will be the goal. Get f4 in. First, let's play bishop e3. Because if he puts something on c5, knight a4 is coming. Yeah, he blundered knight a4. Now he loses a piece, I believe. Go take that. And that's just a full piece. Can take e4, I suppose, but we'll happily swap and then look to swap rooks as well. Let's play b4, just stop c5. Then go after that pawn. Bring our king up too. Play g4, grab a little space. Drop this pawn. Okay. Let's come here, look for rook c4. He's fighting on, though. Does not want to throw in the towel. Now let's get our king in. He resigned. Okay. All right. We'll take a couple more. Sorry, Cameron, I can't give you relationship advice. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. This isn't Loveline. Gotta go elsewhere for your girl troubles. Yeah, Lufo, are you there? I'll see if I can find you. Can't find you anymore, but I do see Mio Sol. I'm going to play Mio Sol. We're going e4. Sicilian once again. This line. I'm going to play bishop d3 because I'm scared of bishop b4 if I play knight c3. I'm just quite concerned about that line, so I'm not going to risk it. All right, now we get e5 in. I like the look of this because I can attack them on the king side. And now bishop h6 and stop them from castling. This is good. Let's play rook e1, maybe knight d2 to come. Yeah, let's just go knight d2. I'm going to try to speed up my development a little bit. Because our king is stuck in the center, so I feel this is good for us regardless. Maybe knight e4 and get an attack going against this king. You might want to castle queenside. He could take on b2, but I don't know if that would be recommended. Okay, let's try to trade those dark square bishops. Because if we do that, his king is looking barren. I would take on b2 right now if I were black and just go for it, because, I mean, this is not going to work out well for him with knight d6 coming. Yeah, in fact, it'll be mate soon. Queen g7 coming. Has to give up his queen to avoid mate. So we're going to get the win against Mio Sol. I am not married to Lily. That sounds terrifying. Oh, we're up to 400 now. Excellent. Good stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to try to get a few more games in against like a 2200 plus opponent, and then maybe call it a night. Yeah, we'll have to see how we do this in the future, because I want to get to your game challenges, but we probably need a better system to do it. There's so many there's so many people challenging, and it's so hard to see all the challenges at the same time. So let me get a few more games in before we go. Hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Hope I've made your Sunday a little more exciting. I'm looking for some 2,200 plus opponents. How about FM DeB? Let's see if this guy's willing to play. Nope. Dagur R. Nope. I am coach. That challenge went through. We'll see. Red Bandit. Negatory. Back reg. So I'm 26-16 right now. I think I was 26-13 to start the day. So yeah, I haven't made much progress in the road to 2,800. Yeah, Luis Romano, I guess I can play you. You're 21-24. Let's go for it. Jinji Indian? Nope. Benko maybe? Just this line. Take, and we'll go knight c6. Okay, knight f6, castle. Probably d6, bishop d7 to come. Let's go rook c8. And he eventually takes, okay. I'll take with the rook. I'm going to try to keep open the option of going for b5. So I'm going to double up my rooks and maybe try to get b5 in. Although I can't do it right now. I'm going to play b6 first, kind of play it like a hedgehog. I want him to move this knight before I move my knight. Yeah, like that's kind of a move that I was waiting for. Because now I feel like b5 will come with more force against this structure. I do have a weak pawn on e7, no doubt about it, but b5 is going to make his structure hard to handle. I expect him to double up now, but when I take, how does he keep everything together? It's going to be tricky. Let's go here. Let's play h5 just to stop him from encroaching. Check maybe? Let's try to get our queen back on this diagonal where it's maybe functioning a bit better. Okay, let's go here. So if he takes e7, I can win his rook on c2. I don't know about this, the way I'm playing this, though. It's quite suspicious, if you ask me. Oh, that was really bad. All right, I didn't mean to do that. Now I think it's like virtually a draw, but we'll see what happens. He can check me around a little bit. All right, we went on time. For some reason, I thought e7 was defended, but it wasn't. So that's why when he played, what was it, rook takes c4, I kind of panicked because I realized if I take back, he takes here. Yeah, no, that's not good for me. So I played this, and he pre-moved queen takes e7. That was not a nice win, Lufo. Not a nice win at all. Okay, let's offer Luis a rematch if he's there. Thanks, Amir. Yeah, I didn't get much further than maybe 2640 or so. I took a hit to Frankie J. Rating went down a little bit after that, and I've been hanging around the low 2600s. It's hard because I haven't really played anyone super high rated. Probably what I'll do in the future is I'll make these chess.com streams either geared towards just playing high rated players the whole time, or like playing you guys, the viewers, and maybe do less mixing and matching. That's probably the best way to do it, especially if I have a rating goal in mind. Okay, I'm playing a Torre, and we're going e4. Let's put the bishop on e2 for now. Possibly a little defensive, but I think it's okay for the most part. Let's play d5, attack this knight. And he drops it all the way back to b8. Probably it's going to reemerge on d7. I think it's his plan. Let's grab the bishop pair, because I like those two bishops. Play queen b3, hitting the pawn on b7. He can play knight c5, after which I'll put my queen here and attack a7. Maybe knight c4 now. Try to hunt that queen a little bit. Let's go here. Rook e1, defend this pawn. b3. Ooh, didn't see that move. The possibility of that fork. But I do have my knight coming into c6, which looks pretty strong. So, okay, I'm going to win the material back right away. That's nice. All right, let's trade and then go after those queenside pawns, which are weak. Bishop d2, stopping bishop c3. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, I'll just take that. And then we're going to go here and attack a7. I don't think he can defend it. Notice how my bishops are really cutting him on that side of the board. He has a tough time, because if he moves this knight, a6 would fall. If he plays knight a8, I can play, for instance, a5 and take here next move, or even something like this. And that knight is out of the game, and I'm ready to take here. Okay, I think I'm done playing for this session. But if you guys have any last-minute questions that I wasn't able to answer, let me know. John is Lufo's student. Not true, but that would be funny if so. I suffer from time pressure. My bullet rating is 1200 and my correspondence rating is 2200. I think there's something wrong with my intuition that on longer time controls I can't compensate for. I wouldn't worry about that, Chris. If your bullet rating is low, that's fine. Some people just can't really play bullet. They just self-destruct when they have to move fast. I wouldn't sweat that at all. Cool, thanks, Gary. Glad you tuned in. I have seen the new Star Wars. Questions are coming fast and furious. Someone just tuned in and the first thing I said was I'm done for this session. Yeah, we're coming up on 3 hours though, so it was a good stream. +5 rating points today on the road to 2,800. Any progress is good progress, right? What do they say? The longest journey begins with a single step. 2,500 plus on ICC would be a great goal too. Why is there no woman capable of beating a top men GM, I think? Well, Ho Yifan is in the high 2,600s. I think she would have something to say about that. Someone asked me about Chessable. Chessable is a site that I recently have got involved with, and you'll be learning more about that in the future. I'm going to put out some videos in the coming weeks. But if you would like, you can check it out, www.chessable.com, chessable.com. It's a site for learning openings. And my partner and I in this site have taken a lot of time and thought about the way in which people study openings. And the goal of the site is to help anyone, regardless of your rating, learn openings better. And I can't give away a lot of information about it, but we launch in February. So I'll be keeping you guys updated on that. But if you want to check it out, go do so. Chessable.com. Sven, I play basketball. Not so much anymore because I've hurt my knees a little bit. I also do cardio, like I run. I go to the gym. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yeah, good quote. I've got 2 tournaments coming up, Aaron. So I'm playing the North American Open, December 26th through 30th. And then I'm playing a tournament in Brownsville, Texas. It's a round robin, which is January 5th through 10th. So I'll be busy with some more chess, and hopefully you guys will see some more videos from those tournaments coming up. Nepkin the Elf. Hey, John, I'm thinking about starting making commentaries. What's your setup? I use the software XSplit to record. It's a good piece of software. I would recommend it. It's pretty easy to do. Have you ever opened an opening book during an online game? Do you consider that cheating? No, Dimitri, I've never done that. And yes, I would consider that cheating. I mean, it's probably written in site rules that you're not supposed to do that. I'm positive I've played people who do that, especially in standard. I have a very strong feeling I've played many people like that. John, will you ever come to Argentina? Maybe at some point. Do you watch any sports? Yeah, I follow the NBA. Also, I like college basketball. I like watching basketball. I like boxing a lot too. I mentioned in previous streams. Sometimes I'll tune in for big fights. Are you short or is Kramnik tall? Kramnik is just really tall. I mean, I'm average height. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. But Kramnik was like, I felt like a child next to him. Dude is just like really tall and kind of intimidating. So I can't imagine facing him over the board, even more so. I'm kind of okay in bullet, but too bad in standard games. Any suggestion to improve my game or skill? Yeah, play more standard games. I would bet the player that you don't play a lot of standard, so hence you're just not as proficient at that time control. Aaron's asking about a lesson about pawn breaks. Yeah, that would be a good thing to do. I know I mentioned in some of my chess fundamentals videos a while ago that doing a video on pawn breaks would be cool. So I'll consider that. I would consider it. I've never met Kevin Garnett. Nope. Evan, I'm not that into MMA. I just don't know much about MMA. I mean, I know like big fighters, but I don't follow MMA actively. I don't follow soccer hardly at all. Sorry to say, real blunder. Maybe Messi. I've seen some highlights of Messi on YouTube. He's pretty fun to watch. But that's like someone saying like I like LeBron because I've seen him on some basketball YouTube video. I wouldn't send me messages on Facebook, Remy. I don't really respond to random people on my Facebook. Sorry, I just like to keep my Facebook kind of separate from my other stuff. So don't feel offended if I don't respond to your Facebook message. You can send me a message on YouTube or comment on one of my videos if you want to get a hold of me. Lori asks, what are your favorite books on the Scandinavian? I like The Modern Scandinavian by Matthias Wall. Grandmaster Wall is a good Scandinavian guy to follow. He's written a couple excellent books on the topic. There's also a German book he published in the 90s that is good if you can get a hold of it. Yes, I did, Aaron. I had ACL construction, both my knees. I've torn them both separate times. Have you ever played in the Pan Ams back in your collegiate days? Yes. I played the Pan Ams probably 3 or 4 times. Actually, 4 times. Yeah, each year I was in college. I went to the University of Texas at Dallas, and we had a very strong team there. And the Pan American Championship is where all the college teams from North America get together and play each other. And our school won the Pan Am tournament a few times while I was there. You should do that, Chris. That's where I post my announcements for streams. That's where I post my Lee Chess tournament announcements. Absolutely open an account. Someday, Cameron. Someday. If I find a topic that's good to write about, I might do that. I would seriously consider self-publishing, though, if I were to write a book or releasing it as an ebook. That seems to be the direction that a lot of publishing is going anyways these days. So I would consider something like that. Bullseye asked about my tournament preparation. Mostly in improving my openings, making sure my opening repertoire is good to go. Doing a lot of calculation, so making sure I'm tactically sharp. Those are the 2 main things. Do you enjoy the Ponziani opening for white? I don't play that for white. I played it in one game. It was a standard game against a guy who was almost certainly a computer. You can look it up in my standard archive. Just type in Ponziani if you want to go see that. But I have a student, Justin, if you're watching. My student, Justin, loves the Ponziani. He's like ecstatic about the Ponziani. Lily with one of his hard-hitting questions. John, do you feel extra pressure being a rare, charismatic, and handsome figure in the chess community? No. If that's what you think of me, Lily, no, I don't feel any extra pressure. John, flex up. Okay, I'll give you a flex. You guys can't even see it. That's all the flexing you're going to get, Afghan Rebel. I work out, but I'm by no means super strong. So I wouldn't say I'm like tearing phone books in half. I'm like somewhat toned, but I'm not going to, you're not going to be scared of me in a dark alley, let's say. John, do you play checkers? I know how to play. I'm not especially good at it, no. How close were you to getting the GM norm in the last tournament? If I had drawn or won in round 7, I would have been in great shape. That's the round that I played Grandmaster Benjamin Bach. So had I won or drawn that round, awesome chances for a norm. But as it stood, I lost, and my chances for a GM norm officially ended the next round when I drew with Piotr Wynn. Had I won that game, I might have had chances in the final round. So you could say that rounds 7 and 8 were where my norm chances were determined. From rounds 1 through 6, everything was going great. I was on a great track. Remy edits. Someone asked that already. I said the modern Scandinavian. John, have you mocked Greg Shahadi for having arms smaller than you? No, I haven't. Your voice will soothe me in a dark alley. How much do you bench? I don't know, Momin. I haven't benched in several years. I could bench a little more than my body weight last time I checked, but I have no idea what I could bench right now. I weigh right now I weigh like 165. So, yeah, I mean, I would hope I could bench at least that now. But I don't do bench as part of my regular workouts. I have a friend who's very much into lifting. It's my buddy David, and I've known him like my entire life. Went to elementary, middle school, high school together, and he keeps telling me that he has this pre-workout stuff that he takes, and he's like, dude, pre-workout gets you so jacked that you should take it before you play online or before you play a tournament. He says if I do that I'll be seeing like a billion moves ahead, and my opponents won't even stand a chance. That would probably fall under like FIDE doping laws, though. So I don't approve of taking any performance enhancing drugs like that. The only performance enhancing drug I take is caffeine. I like drinking coffee. I always wanted to know how norms are determined. I almost Googled it. Yeah, there's some requirements. You should just Google GM norm chess. There's a Wikipedia article that summarizes it fairly well. Do you ever drink anything other than coffee or tea when you stream? Not when I stream, no. I mean, I might have like juice or water. I drink a lot too. I mean, this is a glass full of water. Thanks for putting that in, Lorenzo. If someone was asking about reading materials, there's a lot of questions about chess books. What books to buy? That'd be a good video to do. Just make like a list of good chess books for certain levels. It'd be a good one. I agree, Thomas. If you're training for chess specifically, probably cardio is better. You want to have endurance in those 4 and 5 hour games so you don't get fatigued at the end. I have 1 GM norm. 1 GM norm. And you need 3 to make the title. Eric Hansen takes pre-workout? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So he would be the source for that. How long does it take someone to become a GM? How many years of playing, practice, learning? That's very dependent on your talent and your capacity for work, Lufo. I mean, there's some cases of people becoming a GM in less than 5 years. But I think for most people, it's probably between 5 and 10, I would say, from the time they first start playing chess tournaments till the time they get the title. Talent does matter to an extent as far as getting Grandmaster. It just, like many things, talent determines the level at which you peak, or at which you plateau, I mean. Because eventually you will plateau, and if you're very talented in chess to begin with, you might not plateau till you're like 2300. And that cuts out a lot of the hard work you have to do to get there. But people cannot make Grandmaster just on talent alone. That's impossible. You can only make GM after a lot of dedicated training and a lot of reflection on your own game. What do you think about the Vienna Gambit? Don't know too much about it. I think black equalizes fairly easily, from what I understand. Yes, Aaron, I do. I do offer online lessons. If you're interested, you can message me here on YouTube. Like I said, I'm currently taking a break from teaching right now because I'm playing a little bit, but I will get back to teaching in 2016. Do you think Carlsen is at his peak, or do you think he will eventually reach 2,800? Well, I think you mean 2,900, because he's been above 2,800 for quite a while. At this stage, honestly, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, I would have said, yeah, he would reach 2,900. But I don't think so anymore, to be honest. He's dropped a lot of points recently, and it's so hard to build those points back. I don't think he's going to reach 2,900. Especially if he plays tournaments like the Qatar Masters. He just drew with a player not quite 2,500 today. And he loses like almost 4 rating points because of that draw. That's tough. Saif, my next tournament is the North American Open in Las Vegas, December 26th through 30th. John, where and with do you live? I live in Minnesota, right outside the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and I live by myself. I have my own house and, yeah, no roommates. Do you ever play Morphe-style games, like going out attack mode? That's not my normal play style, Mr. Golchenko, but I like going over games like that. In fact, I'm thinking of doing some attacking games and demonstrating them using the actual board that you saw in my most recent King and Pawn versus King video. Never played with Carlsen. Never played with him. Hi, John. I'm a 2250 FIDE player, but I really suck at opening theory. What book method do you recommend to build a half-decent opening repertoire? You should get ChessBase Final Cut. The program ChessBase is what you need because it does make opening research much easier for you. So I would recommend getting that program. Never played Cricket Max? Nope. Any games with super GMs? Well, I played Alex Grishuk in Bullet, and I got the better of him last time. We only played 3 games, but I won like 2-1. So yeah, I played the occasional super GM. I played MVL before. Someone asked me my favorite flavor of ice cream. Yeah, I like chocolate and vanilla. I've been told that the Queen D8 Scandinavia is the worst. What do you honestly think about Queen D8? I like Queen D8 because it's the safest of the Queen retreats on move 3 for black. So there's Queen A5, Queen D8, and Queen D6 are like kind of the theoretically accepted lines. And the major benefit of Queen D8 is that it keeps the queen out of the way. Queen A5 and Queen D6, the queen is subject to attack. So on D8, it's safe, and also you have pressure on D4 should white look to establish a pawn there. So that's one nice perk of that. What type of music do you listen to? I like classic rock. I like a little of everything, to be honest. I don't really have a particular type of music that I'm constantly listening to, but if I had to choose a genre, it's classic rock. Can you reach 2,700, John? No. 2,700 FIDE is, I mean, I suppose there's a theoretical chance, but I'm 29 years old and I've been stuck at 2450 for a while. I think I can make GM. I think I can get up to 2500, which I'm trying to do, but 2700, out of the question. Do you think draws hurt the reputation of chess? I think premature draws do, yes. But I also think people have to realize that draws are a part of chess and you can't divorce the draw from the game of chess, because a properly played game should end in a draw. And if you want to reward well-played games, then you shouldn't look down upon draws or consider them to be unseemly. So draws are a part of chess. I think there should be a way to balance the frequency of draws with, or I should say it this way, I think there should be a way to be able to play a proper chess game where a draw is not a result that's frowned upon, let's say. And if you have stuff like Sophia rules where you can't offer a draw before move 40, maybe that's the way we have to go. But, I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that premature draws, especially at the highest level where we're looking up to these players in super tournaments and they're getting paid a lot of money to play, I think that hurts chess for sure. I've never played Go, David. I'm quite interested in Go. I've watched some Go videos, but I've never played Go. It's very confusing to me. I'd have to spend some time to figure out how to play it. Do you think Carlsen cheated his way to victory in the Grand Chess Tour? No. Not at all. If you're talking about the tie breaks, those were in the rules that all the participants agreed upon in the first place. Some people have argued that he got kind of lucky in the tie breaks because, for instance, like Geary didn't lose a game the entire Grand Chess Tour, but Carlsen still had better tie breaks than him. But, I mean, they all agreed to that. What is your most painful loss? I don't know. I can't really pinpoint a painful loss. There's nothing like that sticks out in my head where I was just completely devastated. Losing to Bach recently was pretty painful because I knew that I was white, and had I drawn that game, I would have been in great shape for a norm. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We're right at 3 hours. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope I was able to answer your questions, and also we were able to get to a lot of games. If I didn't get to your game, I apologize. We'll try a different format in the future, although this worked out okay. Just need to somehow balance playing good players and also playing the viewers. Might have to have like separate streams for that sort of thing. So we're on the road to 2,800 on chess.com. I made a modest amount of progress. Tried to get some games against guys like Hikaru, but they weren't taking. Hey, we'll keep trying. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday or Monday if you're in that part of the world where it's already Monday. And thank you guys so much for watching. And stay tuned for more streams. Talk to you guys later. Bye.